one, we had the Art of Milk versus Art of War. Golly gosh, titans of industry, battling it out for whose art will reign supreme, milk or war. I know which one I prefer.
Yes, sorry, I got the silver surfer here dancing in front of me, Stephen Wade. He's getting excited about his matchups.
Nice. So this round, just to encapsulate this round in its entirety, we have our stream table. What you guys will be viewing with us, which is Art of Milk versus Art of War. We have the Abnormal Blokes versus CGTTA1. Then we have the Northern 40k Alliance. Actually, we just shifted off that, so I don't know who the Northern 40k Alliance is playing.
Well,
that's
what we actually have here, Adam, is live updated releases of pairings. So
nice.
if we go back to what we just had there, Lukey, obviously Eric has lost the roll off here, and he has put himself up as the sisters first.
Knew it.
Okay, we'll just do this.
Called it.
And then Duck has matched that with the AdMech.
So he's put his AdMech into Eric. Is that a bust? What do you guys think about that list makeup? We know what Eric's is. Eric's is playing a pretty nicely well-rounded or fleshed out sisters brigade. I'm just going to quickly have a look at what this AdMech list is, but please speak to that. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of different ways they could obviously go about it. Like, they've obviously sent Eric up as he backs himself against anything, so he thinks he can beat anything they've got there. So it depends on what Duck's thinking is. If Duck thinks that AdMech list is actually capable of beating Eric.
I believe it is. Just looking at it on paper, I believe it is capable of beating Eric. Whether it will or not, the skill disparity between the players, we'll have to wait and see. But man, that AdMech list is very good. I'll jump over it quickly just to encapsulate it quickly for you guys, and we'll run it over in some more depth when we get to it. A bunch of Cerberus Raiders, a bunch of Cerberus Sulphur Hounds, 3 of each of those. Then he has a bunch of Cataphront breaches. He has 25 Cataphront breaches that are going to be covered up by a Feel No Pain bubble, and of course he has 2 Scorpius Disintegrators. So he has the meat and potatoes to go head to head with Eric on board control, but his stuff is so much more resilient than Eric's is. So if these were 2 equal players, I'd tip this in the AdMech's favor just based on lists.
Well, I do know that Michael Neighbour is one of the students of Eric himself, so that will make it for an interesting game. Just looking here, we have more matchups though. I think Rory Argent has been put up as a Chaos Demons, and that has been matched by the Horde Orcs of Aaron Green.
Oh, that is going to be a great game. That's going to be a very good game. Those are 2 top table players, guys. To encapsulate both of those lists, we have essentially Horde Orcs, like Horde on Horde on Horde Orcs, the hordiest Orcs you ever did see. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of 30 Orc boys with Gazkul Thraka and a bunch of Commandos and Deathcopters. So yeah, it's just a Horde of Orc boys, and that is into essentially the sodden blanket that is Rory Argent's list, which is similar to Dan Savage's. It's got 3 Greater Demons, Bloodletter Bomb, and a bunch of Beasts of Nurgle with some Furies. I guess this is the equivalent of the Stopper list. This is a blanket list. This is a defender list. So I think Rory would be happy with that matchup, but I think he'd be going in that being the underdog on lists.
Yeah, 100%. There's not much damage output that Aaron Green has there that can really put Argent on the back foot.
Yeah, well, it's but in encapsulating the other way around, all that Rory has is 1 keeper and a Bloodletter Bomb that's actually going to do significant, or it's actually going to pick up handfuls of Orcs at a time. If this got ground down into a war of attrition, I believe that Aaron could just target the OBSEC units, OBSEC portions of Rory's list, e.g. the very weak or very easy to pick up Bloodletters, Nurglings, and Plague Bearers, and then just draw it and bog it down into that kind of a battle. He could win that, arguably. But yeah, that is going to be a really, really, really good matchup, by the way. Have we had another one come in?
100%. Yeah, man, we've got a Duck versus Wadey. So we've got Marine or Marine.
Snap.
This is damage output 100%. This is what I want to see. This is the army and the game that I'm pumped about.
So that who went up there? So that means that Stephen Wade... Oh, no, they auto-paired. The last 2 auto-paired. Oh, wow.
No,
so
they're not the
James...
last 2, actually. So Fairman and Keller are the last 2.
No,
so
but Fairman and Keller,
Necrons...
they would have been the champions. And the champions auto-pair.
Correct.
And so
correct,
Hayden
yes.
and Steve both auto-paired. That is probably not what Art of Milk wanted, to be honest. Because I think that's a coin flip. Man. That's a coin flip army. I think Hayden's the better player, but man, those lists are very evenly matched.
100%. All right, so in the meantime, in the downtime, Lukey, Diffie himself, they've been doing all the hard work here. They've given us some new shots. So we now have a shot of all 4 tables that we can transition to at the same time.
Yep. So if you look at this screen now, guys, all 4 of the tables are set up and ready to go. We can jump in and out of whichever these ones we feel like we need to at the moment. Admittedly, we could probably call most of these games from this position and spend the majority of our time on this stream from here, and we can just jump in and out of the ones we want to get a closer look. Simon has pointed out it's a super grindy game with Rory versus Aaron. My money is on Rory, though. Beasts of Nurgle have tons of attacks. Adam versus the boys. But not if they don't roll well. They're D6 attacks, man. If they roll ones, they're trash. They can't do anything. But even if they do get 5 attacks or 6 attacks each, they only hit on 4s and win on 3s. But admittedly, like there isn't I don't think it's a pain boy. Aaron doesn't have a pain boy or anything like that, does he? No.
I think he runs a lot on that 5-up bimbo.
He has 1 pain boy and 1 Big Mech with Mega Armor in the custom force field. So admittedly, like in combat though, I think the orcs will be fine. Like you think about, and he doesn't have. Is it Horticus Slimex that makes the base hit on 3s?
Yeah, I believe so.
Which he doesn't have. So let's say these 5 guys do get 6 attack each. So 30 attacks, gets 15 hits, wounds on 3s, gets 10 wounds. They go into a 6-up, 6-up. So he doesn't even kill. He kills what 7 orcs with a full unit of beasts. That's not good. That's not a great exchange down the line. But admittedly, like he won't take much back either. That's where it gets grindy. And that's where I think the obsec might become the telling factor there. Aaron has a godload of obsec, which not a hell of a lot for his opponent.
Yeah, 100%. It's a grindy, dirty game.
All right, so which way do we want to go with this, gents? Oh, so we do have the last table. We didn't mention the last pairings, guys.
What was that? Oh, so
Justin
Guard versus the
James.
Necrons.
Yes, Guard versus Necrons. So who are those 2 gentlemen?
Justin Fairman.
So we've got Justin,
James Keller.
and
James Keller versus Justin. So we'll quickly go over their list. Maybe we'll start there. Those are 2 relatively new players. Every single other one of these has a very experienced tournament player on one side or the other, which makes a very, very cool game. Because I'll be interested to see if any of those guys go down. Because I can tell you 2 of them are in pretty 50-50 matchups. So James Keller. He has a Relentless Expansionist and Eternal Conquerors, the basic build your own Necron battalion. For those who don't know what that is the auto move 6 inches at the start of the game and everything has obsec. He has 2 Technomancers, he has 5 Immortals, 2 units of 5 Scorpec Destroyers, very, very nice. Then he has an Arrowrider attachment. This one has a Chronomancer and with 2 Crypto Thralls, 3 Canoptic Spiders, 10 Lichguard with Swords and Shields, and 2 units of 10 Scarabs and 3 units of 5 Wraiths. This thing is super aggro, super ultra aggro. He's not taking names. He's not going to hold board. He's just going to push. I love it. I think it's a good list. As for his opponent's army, we're just going to pull that up. He has this is Justin Fairman. He has a Vestroyan battalion, 3 tank commanders, all with demolishers and plasma cannon sponsors. 3 units of 5 scions. 2 of them have 2 plasma guns each. 2 full payload manticores, so a hell of a lot of damage out of that detachment straight up. And then he has a Catachan battalion as well. Colonel Strachan, 2 Power Fist company commanders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units of infantry, and power swords on 4 of the 6 of the sergeants. 2 veteran squads with a bunch of flamers, heavy flamer, and 2 regular flamers, and Storm Priest with extra attacks, and then 2 dedicated transport chimeras with heavy flamers on them also. So the veterans with the flamers will be in the chimeras with the flamers, and they'll probably be sitting on the flanks coming in to flame on. Then he's got a bunch of infantry to hold midboard, who are going to have 3 attacks each from Strachan and the Priest, and they're going to be backed up by 3 tank commanders and 2 manticores. I actually quite like that list. I am going to tip this and give this to the Necrons, though, if I were to say which one of those was marking that down as a green or a red.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with it. I think I have to go with the Necrons there. Guard just don't have the firepower that they used to have. I know those mana cores with the full power loads are good, but do you think they're going to get through the Wraiths fast enough before they get tied up?
Well, he's got 1 turn. He's got 1 turn to kill all 3 units of Wraiths, and then everything gets tapped. Sorry, are we able to get the mission? Luke, are you there with us? Are you able to get the mission for us?
We don't actually have a screen with the mission.
No stress. You guys able to tell me which one it is? I'll just read it off.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
But yeah, Chris Wright, seems super tough for the Guard to keep them out of combat for long enough. Admittedly, the Guard almost need to go first, and they need to really wall the absolute ever-loving crap out of their artillery. So they need to pretty much backline, bubble up all their tanks, either bubble up all their tanks or spread them all out, depending on what the deployment is. So I think they've got Vanguard deployment.
Yeah,
so it's really hard.
It's vital intelligence.
That's what I was about to say. It's got to be vital intelligence if it is Vanguard. So I'll pull that up for us very quickly. But yeah, he has to spread out, and he can't. He can't spread out. It's Vanguard. So he's going to be pretty much bubbling in with just rows and rows and rows of guardsmen to hold back the flood. And admittedly, if he goes first, he can reliably, like two payload manticores, can pick up a unit of Wraiths. Like ideally, they can pick up a full unit of Wraiths between the 2 of them. from out of line of sight. But which table are they on? Of the four of these tables, which one is that matchup? I want to know what the terrain looks like. I'm
That
hoping it's not.
terrain
If it's on
is
the bottom,
beautifully painted and beautifully made by
oh,
Knights of Dice.
so it's on the bottom left-hand corner terrain. It's on the Necron table.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's right,
dude. So
mate.
yeah, okay. That's not the worst. That's not the worst for the guard. They can get some lines of sight there. He actually just needs to shoot with everything in his army turn one. The thing is, he's destroying. He's still got the 30 inch on the demolisher cannons, which means he can reach out across this table and get a lot of firepower done. But man, the onus, I think this is Necrons to lose. Necrons everything in their favor, especially with this deployment as well, being Vanguard. Luke, are you with us? You want to give us some thoughts about how you think this is shaping up?
Yeah, I mean, I am here. If you're wondering, I am here. But yeah, Eric's done a very good job in the pairings. So I think they were quite confident with their pairings there. A lot of the matchups seem like either the grindy long games where there's a slight edge in some people's favors. Like my personal opinion, I think the Aaron versus Rory game is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Um, then you've got the Marines versus Marines, so another mirror matchup. But the Raven Guard, it's kind of like whoever goes first in that one, really.
That's the issue, yeah, because their dick swinger 20 getter Hayden is locked into a coin flip, and that you do not want
Yeah,
that. He's
exactly right.
locked in a coin flip game, and admittedly, like I think his opponent has more firepower than him, but I think Hayden's is the more well-rounded list.
Yeah, I agree, and it's I think it kind of has a little bit of redundancy in. Like Hayden has the option to choose to go in if he gets first turn, or sit back if he doesn't get
Yeah.
first turn. So he has more redundancies in place.
Hmm. Reg Saunders has tipped it to the Necrons. I think we're all tipping the Necrons in the Necrons versus Guard. I'd love to see the Guard get up, but I just don't think they've got what it takes. Their firepower is still legit. If they can draw a bead with two or three tank commanders on anything, that unit will disintegrate. But I think that with the deployment the way it is, and look at. Oh, sorry, I'll do the mission. Apologies, I should have done the mission already. All right. So where is Mr. Vital Intel? Bum,
Yeah, just while you look for that, Lukey, what do you
Yeah,
reckon
sure.
their thoughts behind getting these two as champions are?
Yeah, so what a story to have Eric champion himself. Uh, oh,
Well,
was
he
it
didn't
them? I
champion.
thought it was.
He
Oh
put
no!
himself up.
Oh yeah,
No,
no, of
he put
course.
himself forward. Yeah, so the Necrons and the Guard are the
You're
two
right.
champions.
Mm. Um, So this is Vital Intelligence, gentlemen. So this is a 6 objective mission. We can see one will be placed in each player's deployment zone, and then 4 will be going diagonally from top left down to the bottom right. 4 objectives along in a line. The middle is essentially no man's land. There is nothing in the middle. There's no reason to be in the middle. But it's kind of a weird one with the Vanguard. You either turn this is a mission that I feel like might as well be a Hammer and Anvil deployment, because it always turns into Hammer and Anvil after turn 1.
Yeah, I agree, and particularly in the Necron game, Necrons will do that quite well.
The
But then,
6-inch pre-game move, yeah, they
yeah,
will switch
exactly.
that really
Yep.
quickly. All right, so as to this mission, so this has data terminals. Objective markers in this mission represent data terminals in this mission. If you control an objective marker at the end of your command phase, it remains under your control unless your opponent controls it until the end of subsequent phases. If you have any models in range, of course. As for the progressive scoring here, it is 2 or more objectives for 5, 3 or more for 10, and 5 or more for another. Sorry, more than your opponent for the last one. Data intercept is the secondary objective. I don't really expect anybody to pick it. I think it's a bad one, but I'll read it out for you guys. Each time a unit from your army successfully completes the following objective, score a number of victory points equal to the number of objective markers you have currently in your control. One unit from your army can start to perform this action until the end of your movement phase if it is in range of objective marker, and no enemy units, excluding aircraft, are within range of that objective marker. This action is completed at the end of your next command phase, so long as the unit performing it is in range of all the same objective marker. Actually, sorry, this isn't the one I thought it was. This actually isn't too bad. There are some armies that might actually really want to do this.
Yeah, the board control ones are really going to do well. I think the Necron player, even in Rory versus Aaron, the demons versus the orcs,
Yeah,
that's
I
going to
fully
be whoever takes that board first, and they take that secondary. If they do, that's going to be a lot of points.
I fully 100% expect Eric to take this objective. I 100% expect the Necron player to take this objective. Either Aaron or Rory might take it, but it might be a bit of a trap for either one of them. Like, it could backfire.
Yeah, it kind of depends on like whoever gets there first, sort of thing. But then you don't really know until you roll off for first turn, you know.
Mm. All right, gentlemen. So what's your hot take? I think we're all in agreement that we feel like Art of War has paired better than Art of Milk.
Yeah, definitely. I think taking Ducky away as being a
Mm.
weapon, putting him again a 50-50 call is massive. That's really going to swing in Eric's favour.
I think that is the biggest swing that is going to happen here. I think the Rory versus Aaron. I think they're very well matched on player skill. I tip Rory a little bit more than Aaron. I'm not quite sure if that still holds true in this edition, but in 8th edition that would have been my call.
Big call out to the teammate. Dogging your teammate there.
That's all right. I love everyone equally. But as for list, I go against Simon. I tip the Orcs as having better grind ability. Just simply because he has 150 obsec models versus like 30.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, he's got the weight of attacks, which is kind of what you want for the Demon Horde as well. So it's like if it's going to grind through anything, it'll grind through that. You know, a bunch of no saves. But yeah, I think it's going to come down to, all right, who's holding the objective? How many models do you have? Oh, I have 3, plague turds on it. Cool. I have 30 boys on it, so I win this objective.
Let's not swing past the Eric Lathuris game because he's actually into what would be a tough matchup for maybe any other mere mortal. But that AdMech list is really good. I'm going to go over it really quick with you guys. This is Michael Neighbor. He's got a Stygies Outrider detachment. He has 1, 2, 3 units of Cerberus Raiders. Then he has 1, 2, 3 units of Cerberus Sulphur Hounds. These are 4-man units for the Sulphur Hounds, and no, sorry, they're 5-man units for the Sulphur Hound, 4-man units for the Raiders. I keep forgetting that there says 3 Cerberus Raiders and a Raider, then an Alpha. And then he has a battalion. This one is Mechanicus Locum. What is it? Oh yeah, it's the Data Horde. Of course, it's the super good Breacher one, the Arc Rifle one. All the extra exploding hits.
Explodings, yep.
He's got a Tech Priest Dominus, a Tech Priest Manipulus, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 Cataphront Breaches, and he does have the Warlord trait for the 5+ Feel No Pain. Then he has 2 Scorpius Disintegrators. That is a really good list at picking up Sisters models. And admittedly, all those multi-melters that he's got, they're going to, like that Eric's got, they're going to come out, they're going to kill maybe, if he's stupidly lucky, 1 unit of breaches and then instantly get picked up. You can't tip against Eric though. You cannot tip against a player of that caliber. What do you guys think?
Yeah, look, I think he knows what he's gotten into. He knew that he was put up, and he was confident that he could handle what was thrown at him. And I think he's confident in the matchup. From the few signs he's been giving me, I think he's happy with how things went.
It looks to be that Eric is of a similar thought with us, where he's heading over to the Marine table and see what's going over there. So I think that will be the linchpin of this round.
Yeah, we'll cover those. Let's jump over to those. Can we jump over to that table if you guys have it available?
Yeah, we do actually have a live leaderboard if you want to have a look at that quickly, Aaron. Adam,
Fantastic. Great job. Chuck it up. Tell us a story, gentlemen.
Yeah, no worries. So we've got Globo Gym Cobras, Liam's team that was on here earlier. They're actually coming first. So they had a massive win.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming in second, we have Art of War 2, which is Dan Savage's team. Coming in third, we got Art of Milk, which is on the live stream now, which is Duck's team. Then fourth is Art of 1, which is Eric's team. Then fifth, we got Time to Clap. Sixth is the Abnormal Blokes. Seventh is Daddy's Girls. Eighth, we've got the Gold Coast Team 1.
Yep.
Ninth, we've got 40K Alliance. And then coming in 10th, we've got Josiah with Gold Coast Team 2.
Fantastic. Hopefully, it sounds like everyone's enjoying themselves, having a good time. I have so much love for Team 40K. I think Team 40K is the best 40K that there is. Not only because it brings people together and grows the community and shines a light on all the best parts of us as a unit, as a community, as an event, but it actually allows so many obscure builds and things that people usually would not take to become super potent and really, really interesting.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's team events are by far the most exciting way of playing 40K.
100%. And so I wrote a couple of custodies lists a while ago just for teams events, just to see what I could make. And man, like you would in normal tournaments, you would like laugh your ass off at a unit of 9 Virtus Praetor bikes. Yeah, you would just be like, "Ha, that's bad." But in the right list in like teams events, it's terrifying for the same reasons as like we were talking about the Kraken Steelers before.
Yeah, that's it, man. Like maybe not so much a 4-man event, but if you get an 8-man event, you can definitely match up into massive easy 20s.
100%. All right. So where are we at now, gentlemen? We want to have a quick look at the Hayden Walduck and Stephen Wade game. Now, obviously, we're going to probably tip Duck here. If I was to tip, I would be tipping Walduck. He is overwhelmingly the favorite, I think, on player skill. He's a two-time WTC player for Team Australia, both times being very successful. He's won or podiumed at literally everything he's ever gone to, pretty much. And he's playing against Stephen Wade, who is a very much up and comer. People call him the Silver Surfer. What's the story behind that?
We're not sure on why he's called the Silver Surfer. I would ask him, but he's not. So I think he's like some kind of UFC fighter, man. Apparently, he taps out UFC dudes. He's got his own gym.
He's going grey up top. Is that why? Maybe.
Nah, man. He's handsome looking dude. Got his hat backwards. Young fella. No, I don't know why they call him.
Fair enough. So we'll jump into Steve Wade's list, and you'll see why this is a very interesting matchup, guys. Steve Wade, he's got a very polarized list. You remember when I was talking about the Necron list that these guys also have? This is super aggressive. Dick punching, take no prisoners. He has a outright attachment, white scars, chaplain, catechism of fire, litany of hate, plume of the plains, ruler, whatever, I don't even know what the hell that is. 3 units of 3 attack bikes, all with multi-melters. That's 9 attack bikes, guys, with multi-melters. Then he's got a unit of 5 inceptors with plasma, 3 inceptors with plasma, 3 inceptors with plasma. Holy shit, that's a lot of shots. A lot of very high quality shooting. Then he has a Vanguard detachment. This one has a captain with a common melter and jump pack with rights of war. And he has the Teeth of Terror. And then he has 5 aggressors with Boltstorm Gauntlets, 5 Blade Guard veterans, and 5 Assault Centurions. And that's backed up by an Apothecary. This is a very strong list, guys. What do you think?
Man, I think this is the best prey list that we have here. Like, I know you guys are big on Dan's list and Rory's list, but to me, Wadey's list is the best prey list that we have.
Best prey list?
Yeah, like if you can get the right matchups, he's just going to absolutely roll people and get. It's an absolute
20s. Predator. What game are we watching? Are we seeing right here? Is this the Orcs?
So this is this
is it. Yeah. I was like, this is like yellow. It must be Orcs, and I saw the attack bikes. I'm like,
it's Duck with his yellow whatever Marines they want.
Yellow,
on the day.
Whatever he feels like. Yeah. So this is Hayden's list, guys. So he has a single patrol. Just bada bing, bada boom, 1 patrol. He has a captain with jump pack, hero of the chapter, Thunderhammer, and master of ambush. Raven Guard for those playing a lot at home. There's a Raven Guard successor with Whirlwind of Rage, and as a Born Heroes is the other one. The other trait.
We're looking now, man.
Is he done? And then he's got a captain, like I just said. He also has a Primaris chaplain on bike. Of course, here's what you would expect. He is a smashy bad boy. Then he has a unit of infiltrators, a unit of intercessors, a unit of aggressors. These ones has Flamestorm Gauntlets, 5 of them. A unit of Blade Guard veterans, 5 of them as well. An Apothecary, who's been upgraded to the goodness. A big unit of Vanguard vets. These are 10 Vanguard vets here, guys. And they all have, to my mind, storm shields. Some of them have fists, some of them have lightning claws, and a couple of mooks have chainswords to die first. Then he has a unit of 3 attack bikes or with multi-melters. Or is that 2 units of 3 attack bikes with multi-melters, guys? I think it's 2 units of 3, isn't it?
2 units of 3.
Yep, and then he has a unit of Plasma Inceptors and a unit of Eradicators. He literally has every tool you could ever feasibly need in a game of 40k. Really, really, really strong list. Wade's is a bit more tilted. Wade's has no fat. Duck has a little bit of fat. I think that's the best way to compare the two.
Yeah, 100%, man. That list that Wadey has, that is just raw power. You were right. It is Born Heroes that he's got there.
So which one's Born Heroes? Whirlwind of Rage, is that the plus exploding 6s on the charge? I believe it is, but we'll get some of the boys to check it up later. Looks like the game is afoot. Things are happening. This is a really big game for Interplay. I mean, Duck has a lot of deep striking, infiltrating, redeploying goodness, and it looks like he hasn't done a lot of that. In the bottom right-hand corner, I'm assuming that's just his infiltrators. And apart from that, I can't see anything else on the board that's really making a big move. Right in the top left-hand corner, is that his other unit of infiltrators, or is he? So he's only got 1 unit. So I'm guessing that's something he actually has scattered up there. You guys able to tell us what that unit at the top, right in the top left corner is?
Top left for Duck?
For Duck, yeah.
Yeah, it's it's the Gravis. What are they called? Shitty boys. Aggressors.
Aggressors. So that's Hayden's aggressors.
Yeah, that's right.
And the bottom right hand corner, that's Hayden's infiltrators.
That's right. Yep.
So those aggressors, they're going to take a paddling. They're going to top 3 multi-melters to the face straight up.
It's the other way around. It's upside down for us here, man.
Okay.
So
in the bottom,
aggressors are in the clear, and they've got a little smash captain behind them. And then on the other side, on the other objective near the attack bikes, is 5 infiltrators.
Infiltrators. I thought that was
to taste multi-melter.
Yeah. I was about to say if that's the aggressors, Hayden's made a big mistake. Yeah, the bottom right hand corner is 100% the better call.
Yeah, the bikes apparently made the double move to get there. So that's how they made it so far.
So quick question by Simon, what's him letting take 4 elites? He only has 2 elites, and then he has the Actually, is it? Good question. Why has he got 3 elites? He's only got 3 elites. The Blade Guard vets, the Apothecary, and the Vanguard vets. Any reason that you guys can see that the Apothecary or one of those guys wouldn't take up a slot? He's got the Aggressors as well. He does have 4 elites.
Look,
He's listed as
I didn't go through lists. I'm really scared right now.
He's listed as a patrol detachment, and he's got 4 elite slots.
I don't know.
Is anybody willing to grab a TO and ask, or grab Hayden and ask?
Yeah,
because that is pretty pressing.
That one.
Yeah,
that is quite pressing.
I'll grab.
Cheers,
Lukey has gone to grab Duck.
Thank you. Interested to know if he's we could see an army scoop here. Good pickup, Simon. Maybe hopefully this is a mistake, and his list is actually a Vanguard. If this list is actually a Vanguard, it's legal. If it's just a Vanguard, it's legal.
It looks like that's the case.
Yeah, looks like it's a Vanguard just listed as a patrol. As long as he's playing with the right CP, it's not a big deal at all. Because yeah, this is a Vanguard. Yeah, it's a Vanguard.
Well, in true Duck format, in true Duck fashion, it has not been formatted correctly. It is a double patrol, and that's why we look up there. It's got patrol detachment.
Of course. What a freaking potato! Can someone give him a clip? I'm like, why did he take 2 troop slots when he didn't need 2 troop slots? That makes all the sense in the world. There we go.
Well, as you can see, Luke's the big man here. He's got his big arm there. We'll send Lukey over to give him a
Can you just like say in his ear and say, "You're fucking disappointing everybody." Put your shit up correctly.
Well, I would do, but he wouldn't be surprised. This is how
he
Duck
does.
rolls.
He's pretty fast and loose. So in calling this game, those infiltrators are about to get absolutely kaput. I would be interested to see if he actually transhumans them to try and keep them alive, because it actually is a thing. If you transhumid them and ran them into the middle of the table, it is an annoying thing for him to pick up later. Oh yeah, I would assume Simon. I'd assume like Hayden's usually pretty good. He does make the occasional faux pas here or there, but he rarely actually makes a genuine mistake. Looks like turn 1 has come to an end for Steven, and doesn't look like he's done any damage. Those infiltrators are all still there, by the way. They are all still there. Every single one of them, still there. I do not understand how that is possible unless he laid an absolute freaking egg. But I look for Steve's army. He's moved up pretty. Well, it looks like it hasn't gone super aggressive. Got a unit of attack bikes right in the bottom middle, just staging outside what I assume would be either counted as a forest or a crater. That means that they're just going to be -2 to charge. I think it's a very good option for him to leave them there. No need to push them any further forward. Take the minus yourself and get into charge range. The unit of attack bikes at the top did absolutely freaking nothing, and I'm super surprised by that. It looks like they're going to be charged and possibly maybe even wrapped. That would be what I would be trying to do. If you could somehow make sure you don't die to the Overwatch, charge, wrap one of those bikes. They are pushed hard into that corner. If you guys, Steve, Nick, what do you think of that play? Infiltrators charge the attack bikes, lock them to the board edge, and sit that objective. I think that's a stupendously good play if you can pull it off.
Yeah, I think so too. You could even Duck's got those attack bikes of his own that are sitting in the middle of the table there, so they could even pepper a couple of them and maybe take 1 or 2 away and make it easy for the infiltrators to tag
exactly right. You put 1, maybe 2 attack bikes into that unit. You don't want to kill them. You want to leave 1 left and lock that 1 to the board, because then you can string dude. You string those infiltrators onto that objective. It's yours. There is very little fast combat potential from the what's he even playing from Mr. Wade? What is his chapter? White Scars, of course, which is why you got to wrap. They can all fall back and charge and do whatever they like.
Yeah, you can't just tag him there. You're going to have to shoot him. You're going to have to kill him.
Yeah. But as for Combat Punch, he has his aggressors and he has his assault centurions, neither of which are fast enough to get over there and stop, 2 turns of scoring by Duck. He also has a unit of Blade Guard as well. I assume the Blade Guard are the unit in the middle for Steve.
Yeah,
just
that's
to the
right,
left
yeah.
of the central ruin. Yeah, that's what it looked like. The aggressors are...
Well, you're saying that they're not fast, but in the previous game when I went over and had a look at what Steve was up to, he actually had all of his assault centurions on the board edge, on the very back of the board edge.
So I think Luke just tried to fix the camera and made it way worse.
Lukey's running around trying to get things fixed.
If you can tell him for us, tell him just do what he did, just a little bit more. Actually, no, that's perfect. That's fine. Don't fuck with it anymore. Just leave it. Leave it. Luke, leave it.
Yeah, we're going with
that. That's good enough. We get to see Ducky's bald head as well. We want to check in with the...
What do you think? Do you think that Steve? I think Steve's doing the right thing there by sort of staying away from Duck to start with. He's going to have to pepper him and not just come into that castle, because that big castle Marines there, he probably doesn't have, as much as I'm bragging about the damage that he's got, he probably doesn't have the damage just to come in there and wreck that castle.
Nah. So the thing is, for the first 2 turns of the game, 3 turns of the game, Duck is the way better combat army. Way better combat army. And Steve is the way better shooting army. Turn 3, Steve closes the gap, and he has probably an equal combat army, but he still has a better shooting army. So I think it bodes well for him to take his time to play a bit more of a methodical game. I think the onus is actually on Duck to make some things happen early.
Yeah, agree for sure. All right, well, you're about to hint at let's having a look at some other teams. So
yeah, I want to see Rory and Aaron. I want to see how that deployment's going. And just to be straight up with you guys, I don't expect that game to go 5 turns. I mean, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're not gonna make 5 turns in a. Look at that shit. Man, has Aaron got any help?
That is a mess. He's pretty good, man. He's got his movement trays. He's got his stuff down pracs.
Yeah. Infiltrating wise, I can see a unit of Nurglings in the bottom right hand corner and another one to the left of the top left hand ruin. Is that correct, guys? I can't see any others. I think he's only got the 2 units though.
Yeah, you can only see those 2 units at the moment. Yeah.
As for what you'd expect, it's pretty much what you'd expect from the demons, and what you'd expect from the orcs. To be honest, the orcs can't really do anything else than what they're doing. I assume that all the commanders will be left off the table. I can see where Gaz is. Sorry, there is a unit of orcs, and then just behind that, just below the bottom, the top right hand corner ruin, you can see a big old base with Gazzy on it. He's going to be a big deal in this. He's very lucky in the fact that his opponent doesn't have any shooting. He has no way to deal damage to Gaz apart from either direct mortal wounds from the keeper, because smites, he hasn't got any direct damage from the smites that'll go past the screen of orcs. So yeah, what do you guys think of this? Just seeing it on the table now.
Yeah, Aaron's going to be able to use Gaz to great effect. He's going to be a great bully there. Like you said, he can't just get rid of him. He's going to have to do it in combat. It's going to take 4 turns, and I do believe that Aaron can put wounds back on Gaz. Is that correct?
Yeah, with his pain boy, yeah, you can heal him. You can medic squig him up to D3.
Yeah, so Gaz ain't going anywhere. Gaz is here for the whole game.
He'd love to get Gaz into either of the not the keeper, but sorry, not the Lord of Change, but into the keeper or the Great Unclean one. That'd be a great fight for Gaz. Because neither of them, maybe the keeper can get him down over a turn or 2, but the Great Unclean one doesn't have a chance of killing Gaz in hell. Simon,
yeah, that's it. That was going to be my question. Do you see him using Gaz as a player?
I think he has to. He has to use Gaz if he wants to win this game. He has to use Gaz. Honestly, I'd be using Gaz into a unit of Beast of Nurgle. Because they have no rent. He just gets to sit there with his 2-up armor save.
Yeah, and he'd happily clean them up with his 4 damage, you know?
Exactly right. He's the best tool for going into Beast of Nurgle, because the boys won't do it. Like, maybe in 3 turns, a single unit of boys will kill the beast, but admittedly, the beast can do the same to the boys. So it's like, which one of you gets to fight first is probably going to win that attrition battle, but it's not going to be fast either way. Unless like the beast roll 6s and then roll 6s again, etc., etc. I like this. I like this battle. I think who goes first is going to be a big deal here, though.
Well, old Simon's chimed in. He thinks that that's where the demons want Gazgol to be.
Yeah. Honestly, you would to jump Gaz. If I was him, Gaz is the jump target. You don't to jump boys. They're too easy to be screened out, too easy to be blocked out. Someone's pointed it out as well. You just need to screen the jumps from the sides. Gaz just gets to jumped into the middle. That's what I'd be most likely doing. I love that idea as well. That play sits well in my brain. I don't think you can judge Jazz either. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. He's not a freaking infantry model, Adam. What are you talking about? Why is he a monster? Like, why is he a monster?
Have you seen him?
He's huge. I know. But he'd be so much better if he was infantry. Like, he'd be like 10 times better if he was infantry. And he's still good, though.
Man, he can be infantry if I can have G-Man as infantry.
Yeah, G-Man would be infantry if he was. But, why can't Primaris Marines get into transports? And we still don't know why animals attack. I was talking about it last night. What really grinds my gears is that Custodians can get into Land Raiders, but Primaris Marines can't.
Yeah, guess they're custom built for him, so.
Trash. If Gaz is up front, you can... Of course you can, Simon. I just said that. Yeah, but the direct damage from the Keeper is the only thing that's going to kill him, or deal him any damage when he's behind boys. Yeah, you could have put Gaz in the teleporter, but of course you didn't. All right, back to the Marines. No, this is the Marines. What is this? This is the AdMag. This is
Eric and Michael.
Yep.
It is. I was like, it took me a while to figure out what the hell the small guys in the bottom were. And then I'm like, there's Cataphront, so it's got to be Eric. Chris Wright, I don't think the boys will do more to the beast than you give them the credit. I think the boys will do more to the beast than you give them credit for. For his buff stack, they're very, very hard. Do we know if any of his Aaron's has got Scar Boys? Are any of you guys strength 5? Because if they are legitimate threats against the beasts. Like, legitimately, they will blender them.
I'll check that now.
What do you think about this? What's your first impressions here, Nick? Nick's gone. Never mind.
Nick's on,
All right.
and Adam, they are all Scar Boys, all of them.
They're all Scar Boys. Oh, okay, that changes everything to me. I think that's.
They're strength
I
5 now,
was.
right?
Yeah, they're strength
right?
5. I was pretty lightly on Aaron, but now I'm firm on Aaron.
Yeah, I mean that puts a big swing in the balance because now his boys' attacks are actually threatening to Rory. Like he has to actually care about them. So
yeah, so that's +1 attack from Gaz and exploding 6s in combat. So that is that 4 attacks each on each boy?
I believe so. And then Gaz
100
gives him no. So it's what 3 base with Chopper, plus
Yeah,
one
and
for
plus one.
more than 20, and +1 for Gazgol.
Yes. So what is that? 150 attacks from
I think so.
5 each. 150
wait.
from 30 boys.
Sorry, does Gaz still give +1 attack? I can't
He
remember.
does,
if
yeah.
does. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Have
yeah.
we mentioned you're making the strength 5 as well?
Yes, they're all strength 5. Someone just pointed out. I didn't get a chance to go check on his list.
Yeah.
But
5
yeah.
attacks. Oh.
I actually had a game not too long ago against this list with my custodes, and man, I just got my 3 little dudes getting wrecked by all the orc boys, which are actually stronger than the custodes.
How bad does that feel? Man, Custodes need some tweaks. The special rules are fine. They just need their data sheets updated to represent Custodes again. All right.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
look, just having a quick gaze over Eric's deployment. It looks like what you'd expect. Like you can't see a thing. you can't shoot a single one of his units. As for the Admech player, it looks like he's got some Cerberus Raiders or Sulfur Hounds in the bottom right-hand corner with another bigger unit to the right of that. The only way we're going to be able to tell apart the Sulfur Hounds and the Raiders are 4-mans, Sulfur Hounds are 5-mans. That's the only way we're going to tell them apart. They look exactly the same from our point of view otherwise. So it's a unit of Sulfur Hounds right on the right-hand side. Above them is a unit of Breaches. Above them, the 2 Scorpius Disintegrators. In the backfield, another unit of Breaches. Interesting to see he hasn't bubbled up around anything. I think he's noted that he has the better, more resilient board control, and I love that he's playing to that. It would have been a real big mistake to bubble up and try and do damage to Eric. He's just not going to let you.
Yeah, that's it. That's why Eric likes to play pretty much all the time. He's very conservative for the first couple of turns. It's not till turn 3, turn 4. He kind of lets you lull you in. He's like a big fly trap.
Are we able to get any secondaries updated here, boys?
Yeah, as in, yep. Okay, no worries. We'll get Lucky on that.
Thank you very much, my man. But as for this, Nick, if you didn't know Eric was playing here, who'd you tip?
If it wasn't Eric, I'd probably go
I
with
would
the
100% go with the Admech if it wasn't Eric. Just based on these lists. So the only things that Eric has that are going to wholesale pick up units is his melters and his retributors and repentia. They're the only things that can wholesale pick up a unit of cataphrons. Apart from that, he's got bolters. They ain't going to do shit. They ain't going to do 1/2 of shit.
Yeah, that's 100% right. But like we said, this is Eric.
Yeah, this is Eric. The worst thing you would want to do here is as the happiest thing I am to see is that he hasn't put anything right in the middle. He hasn't put anything up the guts. If the Admech player had put a single unit up the guts, Eric would pin his entire freaking army off it. You just know he would.
Yeah, 100%. He would just tag that, then move on, tendril out like he loves to with his gaunts, and everything would just be tagged.
Victor Von Champ, you're exactly right. The Sulfur Hounds and the Raiders are the X factor in this for the Admech player. That's what he can use to keep Eric at bay, keep the Repentia from closing in and killing characters and killing breaches. That's why I'm really interested to see what the secondaries are in this, because it'll really tell me how the Admech player thinks he wants to play it. And of course, Eric's probably gone for the really safe bets. He's probably got While We Stand. He's probably taking banners. And he's more than likely going to be taking either Engage or... I assumed he was going to take the mission secondary. I was going to take Data.
Yeah, he could take that or Scramblers. I don't see him taking Engage against this Admech list.
Nah, no taking Engage. No chance against Engage in this one. I think you're spot on there. But yeah, this is going to be a slow, methodical game. This is the perfect game to jump back and forward to and see how it progresses, because Eric is not going to do much for the next couple of turns. So if we want to jump over and have a look at the only game we haven't checked out yet, which is the...
Luke's working hard here like a slave that he is. And
man, Luke's been a freaking champ, man.
So he's got the secondaries coming in now.
Fantastic.
I think
fixed up the things.
Oh, he's fixed up the things. Yep. No, he's still working on that. But we've got the
one
Necron.
Thing at a time. I'm fixing up the scorecards. And fix everything, right?
Dude, you're amazing. Thank you so much. We have the Admech versus the Necrons, and I'd say the Guard versus the Necrons, Astra Militarum versus Necrons. I'd say the Guard have gone first based on what I'm seeing right here.
You would want to hope so, because those wraiths are nowhere near where they need to be.
No. So we got a unit of what looks to be 5 wraiths right in the center, and then to the left there's the other 5 wraiths, and the last wraith right in the bottom left, right next to the bottom central ruin. Below that, I can assume we've got the Immortals. And then to the upper left of those, right in the central bottom left-hand ruin, we got the destroyers, and there's another unit of destroyers I can't see right now. So either they're dead or they're in the ruins or in reserve. What would you assume here?
Yeah, well, they're on the side of the table, so that doesn't really help me. I would like to think they're not dead as far as the Necron player is going.
Yeah, I'm actually going to assume they're dead. I think if they are, that's
he hasn't gone first. So I'd say yeah. I would say
if they are dead, I think that's a mistake. I think the race had to go first. The race is so much quicker. And they have the fly, they have the fallback and charge. You can technically tie up the destroyers with just waves of guardsmen. Like you can do that.
Yeah, I'd say looking at the damage output them may have scared Justin, and that's why Justin's targeted them over the Wraiths.
Simon, exactly right. Full payload manticores do an absolute number on them. Is it 4 wounds on Wraiths?
Yeah, I think they do have 4 up, and I found out they've got a 4 up info.
Yeah, but they're toughness 5 and 4 wins, not 3. So the payload manticores don't get a lot of mileage against them. But I still think the race with a better option early, if that's what is what has happened.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. He has deployed them fairly back. It doesn't look like they're right up on the.
Well, it doesn't look like he's used his 6-inch move to do much at all, except for push into the upper left-hand corner. That looks like the only move that I can notice with his 6-inch pre-game.
Yeah, that's it. He could just be playing for those 2 objectives on that top left.
Remember how I told everybody this turns into Hammer and Anvil very quick? Look at this shit. It's Hammer and Anvil.
That seems like 100% what he's done. Because his Necrons will be fully obsec.
Yes, everything they've got is obsec. Interesting. This is going to be another interesting game. The guard going first, it means this is actually going to be a game. I thought if the Necrons went first, this was going to be a non-event. They were just going to swamp him. He was going to get 1 turn to shoot them when they're in mid-board, and then they were just going to be absolutely drowning in Wraiths. And he's still, unfortunately, because he doesn't target the Wraiths, that still might be in his future. But we will have to wait and see. I'm interested to get Lukey's perspective on this when he's free and ready to go.
Oh, I hear my name. What can I do you for?
Yeah. So guard has gone first. It looks like they picked up a full unit of Scorpius destroyers, but to my mind, he's killed 2 Wraiths as a total. And I think that is a miscalculation. I believe he needed to target the Wraiths first, not the destroyers. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. What makes you say he needs to target the Wraiths first?
So your Wraiths can't be tied down. They fall back in charge. They fall back through people. They fall back over people. The destroyers can technically just be charged and tapped and stopped from progressing into your army.
Sorry, what? He's Vestroyan, right? So can't they? No, that's not the one that can shoot in combat. Hey, don't worry.
Nah, that's other dudes.
You're the guard expert. Yeah.
Even I forgot that. It's Valhalla. Yeah, Valhalla.
Yeah,
Chris Wright. I feel like Necron player should have gone as far forward as possible and just a copper turn of shooting. I could be wrong though. I haven't done the maths. 100%. That's exactly what I thought he'd do. He would just push, and then even if you go first, you still only got a turn, mate.
Yeah, see, I agree with what Chris has said in the chat.
And even if you go first, you can't have deployed on. Yep, you go.
Oh, I was just going to say, so as you said before about the Wraiths, I would target the Wraiths because they're the fast-moving unit, and they're going to be in your face anyway, and they're probably going to hold the middle objectives probably turn 2, maybe turn 3. So you want to be able to get rid of them so you can move up comfortably.
Yep. All right, Nick, give us your thoughts, and then feel free to direct us a little bit. Take us to another game you feel like chiming in on.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, well, that's a big call. Yeah, I agree. Again, definitely 100% those Wraiths should have just been steamrolling as fast as they can into the lines there and just tying up, even just at least just board control, stopping them from going to other objectives.
Take us to a game, mate. Let's jump off this one and jump into another one.
Yeah, no worries.
Whatever you please. All right, what are you seeing here, brother?
Oh, my bad. So Lukey's doing it now. So we're coming up. We've got old milkman himself, Rory versus Aaron. Those orcs are on the move.
Oh, man, they have sprinted up there. Tell us about these secondaries, dude.
All right, so looking at Aaron's list, it looks like he's going first. So he's gone Scramblers, Engage, and then he's taken as we predicted, the mission in secondary.
Yep.
Just between all the Idle War boys, deploy Scramblers and Engage seems to be pretty common.
Yeah, it's I believe it's the 2 safest. When you're playing a defensive playstyle, that's the 2 safest ways to get points. At least that's my thoughts.
No, I think you're right too. And if you look straight across to Rory's list, he's done the same. He's gone deploy Scramblers, he's done Engage as well. But then he's taken While We Stand.
So that'd be 3 Greater Demons, yeah?
Yes, that's correct.
So what do you think Rory's response here will be? What do you think he'll do in his turn?
Well, he's going to have to find a way to get rid of these orcs, isn't he? Because Aaron's already on the objectives. So, and especially with taking the data secondary, Aaron's going to really start piling up points early if Aaron can't react to it.
Yeah, exactly right. I think Aaron might have made a little bit of a mistake. He has put quite a few orcs onto every objective, except for the one in the right middle quadrant. If you can see right there, I think Roy just did the math and realized there's only like 2 orcs on that. And if he puts 3 Nurglings, he takes him off. That's still not going to matter though if he doesn't get anything onto another objective. If he doesn't get onto another single objective, Aaron's going to cop a nice sweet 15 on the primary.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what's going to happen. And then, like even though he hasn't put enough dudes on there, which is you're probably quite right, and Roy's been able to quickly jump on with 3 dudes, Aaron has just swarmed the board everywhere.
He is, yeah. And he's got to, like, Rory needs to really pick his spot. He needs to decide on a flank, really. Does he go top? Does he go bottom? I think top's the far easier choice. I think 100% you go top, and you try and dominate and isolate that unit of boys, or the 2 units of boys that are up there. Because naturally, the right-hand side has an extra unit of boys, and it has Gaz over there as well. Whereas the top, if you just go straight up, just dogpile everything you got straight up into his guts, you can isolate that flank, hold those 2 objectives, and take out a unit of 30 boys in the process.
What do you think about Roy taking while we stand? Do you think he needs to be able to use those big units as bullies?
I do and I don't. I think the only one that might be a risk is if he doesn't use the keeper. I'm not sure how well he does in this game. If we're just relying on beasts to carry the day, I think there's too many boys at strength 5 and just not enough beasts. And what a ridiculous thing to say, that 15 beasts might not be enough to carry the day, or might not be resilient enough to get through this. But that might be the reality. I'd be interested to know if Simon's perspective of this game has changed. Seeing after how turn 1 has gone, is he still strongly thinking Rory's got this? So chime in when you know, mate.
I'd also like to know Simon's opinion on the secondaries, because obviously he's played him a fair bit. Are these kind of secondaries that Rory's taking?
Yep. And yeah, has he ever lost out on the while we stand? Because I think they're both going to get like 10-ish points on engage. They're both going to get probably their 10 for scramblers. It's just going to be interesting to see if the while we stand versus the data intercept, which one pays out more there.
Yeah, that and the primary swings it for me in Aaron's favour.
Exactly right. I was thinking that Aaron could easily win the primary, and if he just needs to not get smashed on the secondaries, he might just win this by a couple of points.
So do you think Aaron's able to throw Gazgol or something into some of those other bigger characters to knock them down?
Well, that's exactly right. See where Gazgol is positioned. If he does make any play to the bottom right, Gazgol is actually close enough where he is that he could make a pretty significant commitment there and start dogpiling in. And that is the reason why I think he should be falling back on the bottom with his base. The base on the bottom should be moving towards and then straight up. He should just let the right hand side go. Turn this, like we said, turn this into hammer and anvil.
I was about to say, so you're suggesting another hammer and anvil?
I am. Equal the primary. Rory needs to equal the primary first. They're fighting over primary because I've got to tell you right now, the secondaries are going to be like down the middle.
Well, we can see Rory's pushed that Lord of Change up forward on that left-hand side there too, so away from Gazgol.
So Simon has said with Orcs going first, it hurts Rory more because he floods the table. While we stand is a good pick because the big boys are hard to kill and generally you don't really want to focus on them, even if you just get 10 points. Can someone check for me, either Lukey? So actually, I'll check. Nick, you keep talking. I'm going to have a quick look at something.
No worries, man. Yeah, you're probably right there, Simon. The only way I think that maybe 10 points may not be enough here is because he's going to be so far behind on the primary.
Quicksilver reflexes. I'm just going to have a quick gaze to double check that is the -1 to wound, because if it is -1 to wound, that keeper gets wounded on 6s by all the Scar boys and can literally just go in and solo a unit of 30 himself.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's another reason to take while we stand. Just chuck him in there.
It's not. It's a 4-up invuln.
Oh.
Okay, that's a problem. He does have the Forbidden Gem, which means this guy is legitimately good at contesting against Gaz. Gaz goes in, Gem turns him off, Keeper fights first, and then Keeper fights first the next turn as well. So the Keeper would get to fight Gaz twice, probably in all likelihood, kill Gaz before Gaz even gets to hit him once. So that is a really big tool he has, though.
Yeah, 100%. Can he kill Gaz?
He can't kill Gaz in one. No, he needs to.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
That's why the Gem's a big deal, because it stops Gaz from killing him in one turn and gets him 2 turns of attacks.
All right, so we've got Irons asking us, outside of Gaz, what do the Orcs have to take down the big boys? Seems pretty safe to throw them around. Has Rory taken the Feel No Pain heals? Now, I feel like Aaron has the weight of attacks at strength 5 that can still damage through those big boys.
I agree. I'm of the opinion. So we see 1 unit of Furies from Rory. I'm not a huge fan of Furies. I feel like you need to take them if you want to take things like Scramblers playing Rory's type list. So the Furies are infantry. They also have Deep Strike. So he's going to have 1 unit of Furies in reserve, and he'll probably Deep Strike them if Aaron's backboard ever opens up. Because you've got to assume, like I don't know if you noticed this, Nick, but he's got 1 unit of Orc boys literally just pissing in the wind on the backboard. I'm assuming that the model that is in between the boys and the rest of the mob, that is probably his weird boy, and is probably going to jump that back unit forward to take care of any issues he may have. Like if he chucks 2 units, all his stuff up the middle, he'll use that to reinforce that side.
Yeah, I'd say that would be his backup group of orcs that he's got there. And I'd also say he'd probably be using that to block the deploy scrambers.
So Simon's just informing us about the Furies. Yeah, the Furies are good. They're not great, but they if they get you 10 points a game, it's like, what is it, 50, like 30 or 40 points for the units? Yeah, 45 points. So it's 90 points to get a guaranteed like 10 points a game. You just do it, don't you? There's just some games you just like, especially in the teams matchup, you just do it for the consistency of the team. Nick, feel free to take us to another game, my brother.
Oh, I was just about to say,
no worries, man.
I wanted to take you guys to Hayden and Steve's game because it's kicking off over here. Apologies for the camera a bit crooked. Duck's got Australia's ass knocking the camera around, so... but yeah, it's really interesting. Duck's pushing up one flank. Steve's kind of taken the firm ground in the middle of his deployment zone, or essentially, sorry, the middle of his side of the board, and he's anchored his Gravis troops down the middle, bottom there, and basically Duck's pushing in on Steve's right flank to try and I guess get in there, take some objectives off him. Now Steve does have models under the building there in the bottom right hand corner. And Duck's also got units in the top left-hand corner under that building there.
Okay, so that means the infiltrators survived that turn and are still in that objective. The attack bikes we had on the left-hand side have been picked up. But this looks like this is what I expected from Steve. Oh, looks like he's picked up some stuff. I think that was was that his Blade Guard that just got picked up?
No, the Blade Guard are on the other side of those infiltrators there.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that's not the Blade Guard, but they looked too big to be intercessors. But man, intercessors are chunky now. But boys, tell us about these secondaries.
Yeah, I wanted to point out. Currently, at the moment, I don't think we have Oath of Moment as a secondary on Down Under pairings. So I've put in Arbor the Witch. They've both taken the same secondaries here. So Arbor the Witch substitute for Oath of Moment, which is the Space Marine faction-specific one. And basically, it's get a free 2 points per turn. So that's all you really need to know about it.
The Marines get points.
Nick, they've both taken Grind Them Down.
Yeah, that's what I was about to point out. That this game is literally to the wire. It's a bloodbath. Whoever kills the most people win, basically. It's an old school Fifth Ed annihilation.
It is literally...
Steve's just made a charge with his Blade Guard vets onto Hayden's infiltrators down the bottom... the top left-hand corner.
Top left, yep. Wowee.
Wow. And he's also got his Inceptors moved on, his Plasma Inceptors. Deep Struck on the objective, not in the top left-hand corner, but the top middle.
Yeah, the top middle left. I thought that was Inceptors. Their bases look too big. But, geez, they're both taking Grind Them Down. This might be a game where it's like even primary and even on every secondary except Grind Them Down. That literally might be the way this goes. Very exciting.
Yeah, I wonder because when you're picking your secondaries, if you these boys put much thought into what the other person was going to pick, because I don't think personally I would have picked Grind Them Down here.
I would not have picked Grind Them Down.
Well, they're both going for Grind Them Down, so that means to me that they were both like in their head, all right, I'm just going to fight to kill this guy more than he kills me. And they both had the same mentality going into it.
Well, these are dick-swinging 20-getting lists. So I'm interested that neither one of them have decided to take their foot off the brake and say, hey, wait a second, this is a really risky game. Maybe I take the foot off and play a conservative game. Let him extend, let him be overconfident or whatnot, and take the silly ones like Grind Them Down. But dude, they're both like, I'm going to win this. Bold, brave, confident.
Yeah, 100%. I think based on the secondaries they have, they can't take a backward step anymore. They're going to have to go for it. Same with the roles they have in their team.
Exactly right. Both of them need to get a 20 out of this. I'm of the opinion Duck needs to get a 20 more than Wade does.
Yeah, I think Duck is the one. If Duck doesn't get a 20 here, I think that could...
Well, even if Duck doesn't get a win, like they could both... I don't think this is going to be a 20 one way or another. I think they're both going to smash the absolute shit out of each other, and they're going to end up looking something like a 14-6 or a 15-5.
Oh, that's a big call, Adam. I reckon it's going to be really close. I reckon they're going to pull it back in the end, and it's going to be like I'm going to say 12-8.
Yep, okay, cool. Nick, what's yours? You just going for a 20?
No, I'm agreeing with you. 15-5, something like that. But I'm going to go in Wade's favour. I think the late game of
Yeah.
Wade, he'll come out and he'll put it on poor old Duck.
White Scars, yeah. If Duck needs to front load all his power, the longer this goes, the better it gets for Wade.
Yeah, looking at Duck, he's got those Vanguard bets that he hasn't really done anything with them yet. I think that's something that he probably should have got.
Where are
stuck
they?
in early.
Are they middle right?
That's that big blob
Yeah.
next to middle right. That's right.
They will get in next turn. Next turn, 100%. They're positioned perfectly by Duck as well. They've taken very minimal fire. 2, 3, 4, 5. Only one of them's dead so far. Looks like another one's wounded. That guy will get healed and get rezzed, and then they'll get the +2 to charge, and they will go right the hell into his face. He has 5 aggressors and then 5 assault scents behind those. I don't imagine that Duck's going to kill all of them with that unit of Vanguard vets, but he needs to kill at least one of them.
I think he'll get one. The Vanguard vets actually do a lot of work, so I'm confident he'll make some value out of that. He's also moving these multi-melter bikes, and they're going to try and take out these Inceptors here.
Exactly right. He's going to have 6 multi-melter bikes to go into those 5 intercessors. So Inceptors. I believe that probably means the Inceptors are kaput. But we will see.
Now, interesting point. Sorry, Adam, I'll interrupt.
Yeah.
The top where Hayden's playing right now, which is the top left of the board, 1 Marine lived, so Hayden held the objective.
Held the objective. That's actually a huge deal. That in all intents and purposes, means he's equal to him on primary.
Exactly.
Unless Hayden's got something in the bottom right-hand corner, which I don't believe he does.
Hayden does have something in the bottom right.
Hayden's one on.
Yep.
Hayden's one on primary this turn. He's got a 15 this turn, man.
Which is a big deal in this.
Huge deal.
Now,
and
sorry, you go.
Hayden's going to have a full commitment this turn. He's going to go absolutely balls to the walls this turn. And my prediction is this is where it's decided. Either Hayden does the damage or he doesn't. But sorry, take it away.
I was going to say, look, he's beginning to measure now. But so that's really interesting. Now I want to take you over to Michael and Eric's game because there's some stuff popping off over there.
I love this. I love you guys know stuff was popping off.
Here we go. Look at this. So Michael's pushed up down the bottom right-hand corner. He's pushed right up and basically harassing Eric on that objective down the bottom right-hand corner. He's got 2 units surrounding a 4-man squad of sisters.
Yep.
At the top, Michael has, on the top left, a squad of raiders on that objective. In the middle, in that top middle building, he's got a bunch of breaches hiding behind that wall, and then the raiders stretching out into the open as well there. Eric's basically been sort of pigeonholed into the bottom middle left of the board. He's basically got that big ruin in the center bottom, and the big ruin in the bottom left-hand corner as well.
Nick, do you think Eric went into this thinking it was a mismatch, thinking he was going to be struggling?
Yeah, 100%. I think Eric would have known that on paper this is not good for him, and he would just be looking to get anything he can out of it.
Well, you tell us about the secondaries there, pick, brother.
All right, so the secondary we'll go through Michael first. He's got Raise the Banners, While We Stand, and he's also gone for the mission primary.
Called it.
Yeah, man. Well, Eric's done the same. I assumed Eric would have done. Eric got exactly what I got. While We Stand, Deploy Scramblers, and also the mission secondary. So I thought that was pretty obvious by Eric.
Yep. Keep going, mate. What do you think Eric's next step is? Where does he go from here? He has to make a commitment at some point. Otherwise, he's just going to get tied on the primary. I think, I don't know about you guys, but if I was Michael, I'd be happy to take a 10 here.
10 each round?
I mean, a 10-10. If I was Michael playing against Eric Lathouris in a teams event, I'd be happy to hold him to a 10-10 draw.
Man, I agree with you, but that's the prey list. Like, I wouldn't be happy with myself personally if I was given a pick and I got given what I wanted and I came out of it with a 10-10, no matter who it was.
Yeah, I agree with Nick there, because the best thing that Eric's ever said to me when I was playing in the same team as him is that he said, I don't care who you're playing, I give you the matchup and you do the best to achieve that matchup. Forget who you're playing, it doesn't matter, just play the game the best you know how. And I think that's the best thing, because sometimes I find that there's a bit of intimidation factor when you're like, oh no, I'm playing Eric. I'm guilty of it myself when I play Eric in a singles, like second top table or something. And then Eric, I'm just like, yeah, I'm beating him. And I get a little bit nervous. And then I just fall flat on my face. So I think it's important not to try and get overwhelmed by who you're playing. I think just play a matchup. If it's a green, it's a green, right?
Yeah, exactly. If it's hard, but you have to take the emotion out of it. You can't put, this is the person I'm up against that I'm scared of playing. This is the army that I'm up against. I should beat it. I need to perform for my team.
Nice. It's good to hear you guys' philosophy.
And Jockey in chats just said all playing him Luke. Look, I will admit, at the start, Simon, I did fall flat on my face sometimes versus you. I'd be like overthinking too much because I'm like, oh man, Hayden's the captain this year. I've got to beat him. I've got to prove myself. But hey, look, we get over it, you know.
So I'm going to disagree with both you guys, and I'm going to disagree with Simon. I'm going to disagree with everybody. But this is my own personal philosophy of team events, and there's 3 levels of meta at team events. There's being able to meta for the meta, as in what you expect to face. There's being able to meta for lists, as in it's a red, green, whatever. You just got a good place, and then there's metaing for the player. And you got guy in usual circumstances at non-top crazy ass top level play. The other 2 get you swing you right through every possible matchup. But at the top level of the game, when you have guys like Liam Hackett, who played his mega knobs that everyone thought was trash, everyone marked their scores against incorrectly, and nobody valued appropriately, that's where you have to meta for the player. When you have a player that is so good that you're never going to score yourself appropriately against them because of their ability with a certain list, you have to meta for the player and their skill set rather than the list they're bringing to the board. But dude, that is just my personal philosophy, and who knows? I could be wrong. Time may play it out.
No, look, I agree with you there, but I think that kind of comes into I agree with what you're saying, but it also falls into the category of don't worry about who you're playing.
Yeah.
I think what happened is people didn't rate
Oh.
Liam, and they were like, oh, he's just some average guy. I've never seen him before. He's probably not that good. And then he comes in, and the kid's a weapon, and just walked over people with an amazing list, you know? So I think if you go into every game and go, this guy's a good player, I don't care what his name is. Like, you don't have to be a dick about it. Don't say, hey, mate, I don't care what your name is. But just, you know, go in, play your game the best of your ability, expect them to not make any mistakes, and you try to not make any mistakes as well. And I think that's when the best 40k comes out.
No, totally agree with you on that facet. This is why we love Team 40k. It's such a deep way to play the game. It's got so much to talk about, so much intrigue, and so much to take into account. Nick, when you're in a teams event and you're doing a traffic light system, how much do you take into account the person who's wielding the list, or do you not at all?
Not at all, man.
No, fair
Doesn't
enough.
factor me in at all.
Fair enough.
It's Adam versus the world right now.
Kidding,
man. I'm
That's
kidding.
so biggie. That's so biggie. This is good. This is actually positive. It's good to show that we have differing opinions.
So I wanted to swap the game over to the 2, and these guys are the non-representative players of each team here. And look at the chaos going on here. Look, the guards pushed right out up into the Necron's face and starting to push back. And I think this is only turn 2. I'll have to check the scores and whatnot. But he's making the pushback, and I'd say at about the right time, to be honest, because you can't sit back against Necrons the entire time.
So yeah, this is. I mean, I'm of the opinion that Necrons didn't even advance. Like the race didn't even
we all
advance.
spoke about this pre-game. We assumed that Necrons would just be in his face turn 1 from trying to wreck him. It looks as if it's the other way around. The guard dude is in his face and is trying to wreck the Necron guy.
So am I right in saying that a unit of race and a unit of destroyers have been removed, like in their entirety?
Yeah, man, it looks like it. There's some on the side of the board there.
Yeah, crazy. All right, what are your boys' thoughts? What do you guys think? And please tell us about the secondaries.
All right, so I'll go for the secondaries here. They both have engage. Justin has While We Stand. What would his While We Stand be in the guard list? Obviously, he's been able to keep protect his characters pretty well. So that's an interesting choice there. Would it be the
No, it's the tank commanders for sure. I was interested to know why he put the plasma cannons on the tank commanders. It could be because he needs to put them above the points cost of the manticores in order to have them as the While We Stands.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yes, that is. It's very clever, but I'm thinking they're all around the 180 point model mark anyway.
Yeah, so
you guys keep talking. I'll look that up quickly.
Yeah, you're right. He's also gone deploy scramblers, which is another common thing that we've seen here. James, an Necron player, he's got engage on all fronts. He's gone the mission secondary, and he's also gone deploy scramblers. So being part of the Art of War team, again, he's got engage and he's got deploy scramblers, and he's got a board control one, which is a very common thing we're seeing with all these Art of War teams.
Simon saying the Necron player is playing too conservatively. He will come back in the later turns, but he should have been pressuring more. 100% agree. He should have been the absolute aggressor in this game. There should be like maybe a quarter of the guardsmen left that they are now. As it is right now, he still has the ability to not only come and contest these mid-board objectives, which he wouldn't be able to do otherwise. If the Necron player had a pushed, there's no way that he can get some offense or get some guardsmen into the middle of the table. But talking from the guardsman point of view, what do you think he's doing well?
Sorry, Adam.
Never
There's some
mind.
interesting charges, so I thought I'd swap us to table 2 because Adam's starting to engage here, and this is where it starts to come into play, I guess.
Yeah, well, tell us what you're saying.
So Aaron started pushing up the board very aggressively. You can look at the line where Aaron's pushed to. He's starting to on his left flank, Rory's right flank. So Rory's starting to get pigeonholed into one corner of the table, which you can clearly see where it is, the bottom left-hand corner. Look how much little board space he has compared to the Orcs. There is a bit of a clash going on in the bottom right-hand side of the table. I actually can't see what units it is though. Yeah.
Nick, what are your thoughts, brother?
Yeah, well, this is pretty much playing out how I thought Aaron would play. It's pretty much just taking over the board, getting all his points. I don't see how Rory's going to fight his way out of this. I don't see what he has that can push Aaron back.
That's what I was saying. He needs to kind of swing. That's what I thought he could. He needs to kind of swing around to the top, because right now Aaron's got this really strong right flank, but it's much weaker the left flank. Do you think that's a possibility? Do you think he just bum rushes 2 units of Beast and Nurgle into those Orcs at the top next turn?
Yeah, he probably does. The ones on the top left. I think, like Simon pointed out, Aaron going first is a massive benefit for him there. So that's able to let him get that board control that he's got. And like you kept mentioning earlier, like just straight up, Rory going first, turning this into hammer and anvil, brings some of the objectives back for Rory.
Oh, so you mean the other way around? You mean Aaron going first, turning into hammer and anvil? Oh, so yeah, from this point,
if Rory was to go first and able to turn it into hammer and anvil, then we were looking at a very different game.
Absolutely right, man. Absolutely right. Right now, the beasts are having no impact and no influence, and they need to become relevant ASAP. And honestly, I don't. Do you just put 1 unit in at a time? Simon, what do you think? Do you put 2 units into 1 unit of boys, knowing that the unit of boys could realistically make a couple of invulns or armor saves, and then interrupt, or they get to fight next and take down half a unit of Beast and Nurgle? Admittedly, that is being generous. Half a unit of Beast and Nurgle from like half a unit of Orc boys is not most likely what's going to happen there. But dice skews are dice skews.
Yeah, that's it. The bottom right hand side, Rory has been wrapped by most of Aaron's stuff. So it looks like Aaron's Orcs are going to destroy what he has sitting there and is coming through that bottom side of the table to connect with the rest of Rory's army.
Interesting that he bothered wrapping. What has he got? What's the shooting that he's afraid of?
I'm not sure. I think he thinks he's just going to play right through them.
Yeah.
Luke's gone off to have a closer look, but it looks like he's gone through, hit them, and then he's going to continue on through. I think Aaron's just happy sitting on the objective, really.
You can get 2 units to swing first with Gaz buff unit. Tank, tank to interrupt. I can see where Gaz is. He just blends in, doesn't he?
Yeah, man. This is a big mob of dudes just blending into the green. They should have had a different table other than green. Put them somewhere else.
But Simon's got it right. See where Gaz is? That top unit of boys isn't buffed by Gaz. They have less attacks. They have less everything. I'm interested to know if so there looks like there's a character model behind that unit of boys, and just to the right of the top left-hand corner objective, I'm assuming that's the Mega Armor KFF Big Mech. Just because I can't see any other model that would represent that model for me.
Yeah, I can't see it. Luke is going to have a look, but I think you're right.
Yeah, so that just changes things a little bit, but not all that much. I really think the Bloodletter Bomb needs to be used perfectly here. In the top left-hand corner, is that just a unit of boys being strung out all the way down?
Yeah, man, it is. Where do you think Rory is going to put that Bloodletter Bomb?
Right there, right in the top left-hand corner. Charges into the building or just on the other side of the building, gets all their attacks in. And then you have a Beast of Nurgle unit that goes onto that central left-hand objective, and then he either pulls away from the Beast of Nurgle, giving up the objective, or pulls away from the Bloodletters, leaving them to next turn move towards the right, and then get a secondary charge off into the right top-hand unit. Because that's the thing with the Bloodletters. They need to come down if they want to get max usage. They need to come down and not get countercharged by Orcs.
Yeah, 100% right there. So actually, just looking at Steve's game, there's some stuff going on there. So we're going to cross over to that.
Beautiful. Good pickup, Matt. Morrisoli said 100% needs to double down on the top line of sight blocking. Sorry, LHS, left-hand side. Yeah,
left-hand side.
He needs to. He has to commit, man. Good pickup, Soli. We'll see how that pans out. Chuck us over to the next one, brother. Pressure's on Nick. Is he going to click the right button, or is he going to blow up the whole stream?
Yeah, I have it. It's just waiting to go. It's on the edit screen. It's just waiting to go onto the live screen. I think I'm doing good.
No, you're doing great, dude. For those who are waiting at home, this is Nick's very first time streaming, and he's fucking killing it. By the way, he's fucking killing it. So thank you so much for doing this with me, mate. You've been a champ.
Yeah, no worries, having fun. The just can't get it to go from the edit screen to the live screen there, Adam. Do you know how to?
It should say you shouldn't have to be switching it on there. There should be an OBS thing. You just click on the scene that you want. It should be at the bottom. If all else fails, just leave it for Lukey.
Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, no worries at all. All right, we'll just keep talking about Roy's game then. So, Aaron has actually moved to block, sort of the deep strike of the Bloodletters a little bit there.
Look at that cheeky shit. He's not reading the chat, is he? He's not listening to the stream.
He is within 5 meters of me, so we might need to push the
COVID distance that motherfucker. Push him back another meter. Nah.
Maybe he's in the chat.
Aox man. Whereabouts are you from, man? It's getting through the night. Whereabouts are you in this lovely evening that you belong? It doesn't really matter where the Bloodletters go, but they just need to commit into the top left. I thought it'd be best if they went behind that line of sight blocking terrain. Here we go. This is the.
All right, I didn't press the transition button, but we're onto it now. Luke, he's taught me how to use a computer.
Mate, the assault sensor gone.
Yeah, man, it's some big stuff happening over here with Ducky.
Tell us about it.
Well, like those blade guards have obviously finished off that unit they've got in that objective there. They've cruised off and they're after Ducky's attack bikes there. Ducky is completely in Wadey's lines down back there, and like you said, those assault scents are gone.
Yeah, I will notice that Wade's got bolt storm aggressors, not flame storm aggressors, and 100% he'd be wishing he had the flame storms right now, because the bolt storms aren't going to do a hell of a lot of work into those 2-up save Vanguard vets that are admittedly probably going to have a feel no pain as well. And without the assault sense, I think he has to charge him. I think he has to charge him.
100% he's going to have to charge him. 100%.
Wait a sec. Is that an assault centurion?
I'll just find out once.
Did the assault sense walk into the building and they'd have just charged up from there? Because if that's the case, did Duck not kill anything? Or did he kill, because it was a unit of 5 assault sense. He might have killed 2, 3.
Yeah, he may have killed a couple. And plus, I think he has that apothecary there, so...
This would be going into... Actually, who went first here? I thought Wade went first. This would be Wade's turn 4, possibly. Shit, this is a quick game. So, yeah, Wade went first. Moved up his attack bikes.
All right, so it is turn 3.
Okay. So, top of 3. That makes more sense to me.
We have Lukey on the hunt for assault sense, and it does not look like... Nope, he cannot find any assault sense.
Good job, Hayden. You went for the right target. 100% the assault sense have to go. White Scar's assault sense are fucked, to put it plainly.
Yeah, man, 100%. And Ducky obviously knew that, and he's taken them out straight away.
So just getting a quick update on the scores across the event. You able to tell us what everyone's scoring as?
Yeah, man, no worries. So you want to have a look at just this game?
All four. Tell us what they're all progressing.
All right, we'll start on this one. So Wadey's going off on the primary. He's up 15-5. The Abhor the Witch, as we mentioned earlier, isn't actually Abhor the Witch. That's the primary for Marines oath of moment. Is that correct? Yep, so it's 3-2 in favour of Wadey again. Engage, it's 4-all, and then grind him down. Wadey's actually up on that, 6-0. So Duck's obviously got a little bit of catching up to do there, but taking out some of the key units that Wadey has is going to help him with that.
I'm very surprised that the primary is in Steve Wade's favour. I actually thought and read it that it was in Duck's favour, the way I've seen the game play out. So, but, I'd
say it's like having that one little infiltrator stay alive.
I would have thought, that skewed it to Duck's favour. I thought that meant Duck was going to get a 15.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
So maybe we were wrong. But looking for the other ones. So Michael Neighbour versus Eric Lethurus right now is sitting at an 11-9 in Eric's favour. Rory Argent versus Aaron Green is sitting at a 12-8 in Aaron's favour. And Justin Fairman versus James Keller is sitting at a 10-10 draw.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm just going to, now that I know how to use the buttons, I'm just going to move us back onto Eric's game here. We can have a look at what's
going on. You're fucking killing it. Look at this. Pressing buttons and everything.
Got skills now.
All right, how are you seeing this?
Well, it looks like that unit of sisters we were mentioning earlier on the bottom right-hand corner there is completely wiped out. So that's got some primary in Michael's favour there, even though he's still on 0. So I'm not sure what turn we're on here.
I'd assume this is bottom of turn 2, because didn't the Admech go first?
Yes, that's correct, yeah. Eric is slowly starting to push his little sisters out, which he likes to do from like turn 3 onwards.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of a commitment. 5 sisters have gone up into the middle or top left Objective. What is that unit? Is that just unit of sisters, or is it a unit? It'd be a unit of dominions for sure. Eric's got 3 units of.
Yeah, that'd be the
He's got
minions.
3 units of 5 dominions, which he scouts up into safe points pre-game, and then he just jumps on objectives and annoys the crap out of you. In the top left-hand corner, is there any sisters up there?
I can't quite see. It looks. Give me one sec. No, it looks like. Oh yeah, the
I thought it might be Celestine up
what are
there.
they called? No, Celestine and her friends are underneath the building.
Okay,
It's one of the walkers on the top left there.
Yeah, the mortifier, whatever it is. Yeah, I was about to. I forgot he had those, but that makes a lot of sense. Some people love them, some people hate them. I'm particularly a fan. I think they're pretty good. They're like Talos, essentially. If someone doesn't know what they are, they're like sisters versions of Talos. They've got a couple of heavy bolters, and they do a hell of a lot of flail attacks when they make it into combat.
Yeah, that's right. I've just had a chat to Lukey, and he thinks that Hayden should also be winning. So we're looking into those scores.
Yeah, maybe they've just scored it opposite. They've put it into the wrong person.
I think that's what
their player one. Because there's no way Hayden's losing on primary. I'm thinking about that just doesn't seem right.
No, definitely not. I'll grind them down. Looking at what's left.
Exactly right. But we've just seen some sulfur hounds or raiders being picked up from the middle of the table. I assume the melter guns have walked on from the back board edge. The retributors with the melters and a bunch of the cherubs. Interested that he would use those just to pick up the sulfur hounds and the raiders, but I think he's absolutely 100% right that those need to go, or else they're just going to be sticking in this side, harassing his units, trying to pick up his obsec.
Yeah, 100%. I think from here we'll start to see Eric slowly just move out onto that middle right sort of objective, tag that one, and just sort of sit there and try and get Michael to take those units that he's got in the bottom right corner off that objective.
Yeah, we're exactly right. You're about to see Eric's methodical play style come into action, and he's about to start moving his way up the board. I just wish you could tell what unit of sisters is what from this, but they all look the same, man. They just all look exactly the freaking same.
Yeah, that's it.
This.
All right, so why don't we have a look at the Necron table, see how they're going over there. All right, so yeah, as we've confirmed earlier, the scores aren't working correctly for Duck and Wade, so we're working on getting them. They should be flipped.
That's what we thought. Even Simon called it.
There we go. We got it now.
Beauty. So it's a 13-7 Hayden's way. So right now Hayden's holding this baby up. He's the only one in a winning position. But in all likelihood, Justin is looking pretty solid as well. Tell us what we're seeing, Nick.
All right. So we're slowly starting to get some of those race into the center of the board. What are those units that he's got? Are they the destroyers or what are they?
Yeah, the Scorpec destroyers.
With them? Scorpec destroyers, yeah. So he's moving them. Obviously going to start getting aggressive with those bad boys. But we're still looking at guard looking in a pretty good spot on more objectives.
I'm just going to quick look at this Necron list. I believe he did have 10 Lich Guard. He does. I believe that's what's in the top left-hand corner.
Oh, yep. Okay, yep, cool.
I wouldn't put any fire into those Lich Guard. Forget about them. Kill the race. Kill the destroyers.
Yeah, where they are can just be left there. They can have that objective.
I'm just still really worried about this. Admittedly, it doesn't look like the guard has picked up a hell of a lot of anything else. Actually, sorry, we do have one unit of race that have closed the gap. There's 2 of them in combat with a line of guardsmen just to the left of their main line.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's slowly starting to bring them and drag them into the game.
Maybe he's seen something we aren't. Maybe he's playing to a line of battle we don't quite comprehend yet.
He was mentioning, I was speaking to Justin before, he has the 3 damage Manticore. And that was taken out. He took out like 4 wraiths in a turn or something, he said, which was insane. Or 3 wraiths in a turn.
Yikes. Yeah, I think I saw that
when
happen.
They hit.
They do, man. When you can roll 4 pluses, they are the tits.
Yeah.
All right, so looks like we've had a charge. Looks like we've had a big old charge roll by those Scorpec destroyers. They're about to num them some guardsmen. It's pretty funny that he's gone with Catachan guardsmen. This feels like a list that I used to run, like fucking 3 years ago, to be honest. But it's good. I mean, the payload manticores have only gotten better. And if you notice, this guy is a mad dog, and he's magnetized, or he's just stuck on his missiles, and he's taking the missiles off as he shot him.
Yeah, man. Justin plays with us. He's the mad dog, that's for sure.
Absolutely right. So he's got 2 rounds left in his manticores. Do you know how you can tell? Because you can see the missiles. What a sick hunt.
You did mention at the start that he's not much of a prolific tournament gamer, but he does hang out in Eric's garage a lot. So he's very, very skilled when it comes to
Awesome.
40k.
I like his list. The only things I'm not sold on are the chimeras. I'm thinking maybe just more guardsmen, but or a counter assault unit like the Bulgrin or something. But admittedly, Bulgrin are like absolute garbage versus Marines. They're actually legit against Necrons. Funnily enough. All right, so yeah, there's looks like he's just finally made that charge with those race. They weren't in before, so we should see the guardsmen to the right of the Scorpic destroyers completely annihilated. But see, race two race. How many attacks do they have? They don't kill 10 guardsmen, did they?
3 attacks or 4 attacks each, something like that. Hitting on 4s, so I think, but then you can get +1 to hit. So I think you can get them back down to hitting on 3s.
I've got my codex. I've got my Necron codex right here. This is the perk of reviewing every codex that comes out. You got every damn one. So I'll have a quick look. You guys keep chatting.
Yeah, no worries. What do you think he's going to do here, Luke? With he's got these race sitting here. Do you think he's going to try and make a charge here? Well, I think he should probably. There's probably a bit of a far charge there, whether he's not going to go into those guardsmen or not.
Can't hear Lukey if he's
Sorry,
talking.
I was saying I reckon it's about 11-inch charge probably.
Eyeball
10 to 11. Yeah, mate. I know my.
Eagle Eye Luke. Eagle Eye Luke. Right. Canoptic Race, they do hit on 4s and they do have 4 attacks each. So he's got 8 attacks. He's only going to get 4 or 5 hits, and he's going to be wounding on. Canoptic Race are only strength 4 now. Oh, but the Vicious Claws are +2 strength.
Yeah,
so
+2,
on 2. Yeah, so at best he kills like 5 guardsmen.
Yeah, that's it. I think you needed to get the I don't know why those races are still just sitting in the bottom.
Yeah,
of the board
that's the one that I felt like he should have committed.
I feel like he's not committing to the threat overload. Like he's just playing like, I'll let you, move up and shoot one thing at a time instead of being like, here's my bunch of 4-up invos, reanimating stuff. Try and shoot him while you can, and if you don't kill him, I'm going to reanimate.
To use your terms, Nick, though, this is a predatory list, isn't it?
The Necron list?
Yeah.
I don't know if it is in this. I don't know of these 4 armies that they're playing against in Duck's list. I don't know what it would actually prey on.
As in this lineup, but I meant in the cohesion of his own team, he'd be marked down as one of the predatory lists, right?
The Necron one. I'm not sure. Personally, I think that's the role of the Marine list here.
So you think you'd only take 1 predatory list per lineup in a team before?
In a 4-man, yeah, I think we're looking at true resilient lists. So something that's really tough, something you can champion.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe personally, I would happily play a Custo list. Something like Josh McGowan's list is a good champion list. I would have something like that as my champion.
Well, I do actually like when you said about this. This was the champion. These are the 2 champions playing off. I do like what you said about that. I think the guard maybe not a great champion. I think Rory would be a great champion for this lineup. But the Necrons are an amazing champion. Because you're right, they do have the resiliency, and they can just fall back on their invulns and their high toughness and wound count to just get through the tougher matchups and play defensively if they want. I do feel like he needed to close the distance. I still feel like he needed to be aggressive in this matchup, but we'll wait and see.
I think, just going back to that, sorry, I think what maybe Eric might have been thinking at the start is that I would have really wanted to get, personally, I would have get Wadey into that guard list. So they may have thought something else with the champion. And I think they were trying to get Wadey into Justin.
I think we all know what would happen if those Marines were playing this guard list right now. It would be like the worst kind of bad touch.
Yeah,
fuck.
Quickly, right?
Fuck me. It's so bad.
While I got you, I might take you to the team scores overall, because the round's actually really tight with scores as of now, which is round 3.
Amazing.
So if we have a look here, they're dead even currently.
Wow, that is phenomenal. We love that shit.
That's a close round, hey? It's beautiful.
And that's only after we figured out that the Hayden one was flipped, right?
Yeah. That was my mistake. I was entering them in, but they had them opposite to DUP, so I put them in the wrong slot.
And which one do we think are going to stay the course as the scores are now? Or do we think anyone is going to... Nick, give us your thoughts. Which ones are going to tip a bit more either one way or the other?
Teams.
Well, yeah, I think I was wrong on Wadey's list. I had him all backed up. I had him pumped for the big win, but I feel like it's going to go the other way around now. I feel like Ducky's going to pull it out, show why he's probably the most experienced international player we have in Australia.
No, fair. Most experienced. He's only been to 2. I've been to 2. Jesus.
Yeah.
I think he may have won more ATCs though.
Just a few more.
Oh yeah, because you're in not Team Queensland, right, Adam?
Yeah, that's right. I've only played in 1 ATC as well. I haven't dropped a game at ATC. I haven't dropped a game. Hell, I've only dropped 6 battle points.
Oh, well, you've only been to one tournament, so it doesn't matter.
And I did real good. Yeah,
we can talk smug while we've got Eric as
that's
captain
right.
here.
That's right. We'll poach him eventually, or he'll get so old. He's already an old man as it is. He's only got a couple more
You
years.
guys need to drag
We
Diffie out
do.
of
We need the anti Eric firepower. Depth to subroutines gaming. I would have got the race into the tanks ASAP and clean up with the Scorpex. That's actually what I thought was going to happen. I felt like we'd get a move, a 6-inch pre-game move, and then a move advance turn 1, and then it's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna move and warp past all your screens because screens have to be up to be on a mid-board objectives. I'm just going to go straight into your tanks, and then the Scorpex will take care of the guards when they get there.
That's
that's
exactly
not
what we
saw.
talked about at the start, Adam. Like we both and Luke ourselves, we all just sat here and go, okay, well, the Necrons are just going to tie him up, get stuck in there, get ahead on primary, but obviously it's gone the other way around.
Legit, if you're playing against 3 tank commanders and you let them shoot for 5 turns, you're probably not going to win.
Yeah, man. Guard don't have a lot of things, but what they do have is full payload Manticores and tank commanders. That's all they've got. So if you've got Wraiths that can tie them up and take them out of the game, then you're laughing.
Can we go to the Aaron and Rory game? There's some interesting stuff in afoot.
Yeah,
He's just made the charge exactly where I fucking said he was going to do it. Top left-hand corner with the bloodletters. They've just made it.
All right, well, I'm going to leave you with Lukey, Adam. I'm going to have a walk around and have a look and see what else is going on around the room.
Beautiful. He has made a... Look at this commitment, guys. Lord of Change, Lock's gone into the top, Bloodletter's going into the top, and 2 units of Beast of Nurgle are going into the top as well. He's holding nothing back. He's going to blow his full Milky load. But that's the most horrible thing I will say on this stream.
That's the wrong team,
I'm not sorry.
Mate. Wrong team. Rory's going to blow his Milky load to the other team. Sorry. Uh-oh. Wait, Adam.
All right, so you got me there, boys?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think we might have lost Adam, but that's fine.
Ooh, the voice from down under. We've lost him.
It's all right. We'll run the show. All right, what news have you got for us, Nick? Anything interesting?
All right, well, I'm over here. This is actually table 1's, the top tables here. So we got Art of War 2 versus Lean's team, the Globo... What's their name?
Art of War 2?
No, what's Liam's team's name? Globo,
the
Jim.
Abnormal Blokes. That's my team, man.
Oh, these aren't the Abnormal Blokes, are they? Aren't they the Globo Jim something?
Globo Jim Cobras. Wait, there's 2.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
them.
even
Yeah,
remember
so I'm
which
over there
team
with those
Liam's in.
boys. No, Brian's team is the other team, is your boys.
Okay, yes. Liam is the Globo Jim Cobras. If anyone can remember from Dodgeball, the movie, the very famous movie Dodgeball, Liam is the leader of the Globo Jim Cobras.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm over here now, and Liam's actually got Josh. So we've got Necrons up against Orcs. And Josh is giving me a big thumbs down. And Liam is ear to ear grinning. So I'd say that's going in the favour of the Orcs over here.
Liam's quite savage when he gets a green. He makes sure he lets you know it's a green.
Hello, you hear me?
Yeah, he's definitely doing that.
Warp, Adam.
Apologise, guys. Yeah, the wolf came calling. Sometimes, the next chaps you on the shoulder. You're like, well, I guess I'm going.
That's all right. Happens to the best of us.
All right. And can continue on table 6 here. I've got Ben versus Paul. There's a lot of precise movement going around here. Not really sure what's going on with the scores here. How are you boys travelling? Okay, so Paul's confident he's going to come back for a big win, he thinks. No, he's shaking his head.
Because Paul's actually a non-representative player, and he's a sort of up-and-coming player. He's been showing a lot of promise. And Ben played in ATC, I think, last year. And Ben also has been improving dramatically over the years. He's currently playing Adam's favourite list of the tournament, the Necrons.
Equal. I didn't say most favourite. There's about the 3 lists that I think are about top of the pile. Actually, 4 lists that I've seen Steve Ways one in actual play. Interesting to note, yeah. Of the top armies in the game right now, there's only 1 Harlequin list, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing it's Brian's.
Yeah,
it's Brian's. Yeah, Brian Lakeland.
Who's in charge of their matchups? I believe it's Brian, correct?
Oh, okay. Well, he's probably got a red then. No, I'm sorry.
Mate, protect. Lukey, what did I miss? What did you guys got to say about this? Because I feel like this is Rory's turn to get back in the game.
Yeah, this is Rory's diving his bloodletters back into the boys. Uh,
Hmm.
it looks like he's hit just a one squad, which I think is probably the right idea. Aaron's committed his two other squads further down on the board, down the bottom
Yeah.
right side. So Rory's taking advantage of what he can right now, and he's committing. He's kind of rotating. Think of it like a clockwise rotate. Aaron's come down the right hand side. Rory's gone, nah, stuff that. I'm going to go the other way. So they're basically like chasing the time of a clock right now.
Yeah, I'm going to point out something that I feel like is a mistake by Rory, and I feel like see right now, yeah, he's lost possibly a quarter to a third of his bloodletter unit not being able to make combat. I think this is possibly a mistake because had he not put the Lord of Change in, the entire unit with their frontage would have made combat. And the lock that like literally 5 bloodletters will do more damage than the lock in this combat. So I'm of the opinion that putting the Lord of Change in wasn't the best idea.
Yeah, I think maybe using like the Lord of Change is more of a deterrent for so
Yeah,
that he
exactly
doesn't come
right.
in the other side is probably a better play because the Lord of Change is kind of like more of the same where it is right now, you know?
I'm very, very interested in where Rory's put his keeper. The Keeper of Secrets is right on the left-hand side. It's the furthest model away from the action.
Yeah, do you think that's got to do with While We Stand, We Fight?
100%, I think. I think he's the easiest while we stands to deny, and I think Rory's just given up that thing's not going to see combat.
Yeah, that's
Admittedly,
something that I've definitely found lately. Like, while you take While We Stand is great for get those 10, 15 points, but it also takes a lot of your damage-dealing characters and weapons out of the game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that in most cases.
So you guys heard my Rory comment before I got kicked. I was like,
Oh yes, yeah. Rory's giving them the art of milk or something.
yeah,
Japanese
yeah,
milk.
that's right. I was just like, man, I actually kind of hoped that when I got DC'd, you missed that bit, but I'm not ashamed of it.
Look, I'm not. I extended on it. I committed. You went for it, and I was like, fuck it. If we're all going in, we're all going to go in.
Well, this is a mature channel, and it's mature for a reason because we're Aussies and we don't want to hold back. How many
Yeah.
orcs have been picked up here? We see about 5, 10, I think about 13, 14.
Let me.
Yeah, he's picking them up now. There's a fair bit of damage that's going down to these orcs.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 16 orcs have been picked up, and that's probably just by the bloodletters.
Yeah, 16. Rory's gloating and telling me that it's 16.
But
Rory's
have we forgot
gloating.
about Green Tide or?
Yeah, I know. Admittedly, he doesn't have a great place to green tide him to, though. Like, where does he green tide him? Like, just 9 inches back from where they were?
Yeah, like stop him from hold. It's the thing is, it's 30 obsec models, bringing back. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'll bring him back 100% of the time.
I think definitely in this mission too, where he's got the data.
Intercept? Yeah. We
Right,
didn't
my
pick
bad.
up what you said there.
I was just saying, yeah, like basically it doesn't really matter where he puts him. He just needs him back on the table. The way he just needs to get primary, just stop being able to stop Rory from doing whatever he wants to do.
Apparently, Simon can't hear you, Lukey. I don't know if that was just for that comment
Yeah.
or not.
Thanks for that, Simon. I actually didn't turn on my streaming microphone because I was trying to let Nick know that his iPad auto-rotated and he wasn't holding the button for push to talk anymore.
That's fair.
All right, I've locked the screen. I've locked the screen.
Good man. All right.
I might take us to all 4 screens. What do you reckon?
Yes,
actually,
please do.
well,
But here's the
hang on. How many orcs did we settle on? I don't think you wiped the unit. Did you?
16.
Okay.
16 got picked up. I'd like to see the end of this combat phase if we can stay here for a little bit longer.
Yeah, of course.
But this was the issue. What I thought with the bloodletters, I wanted the bloodletters to come in such a way that when they killed, there was fuck all attack coming back at them. Now
Yes.
I've got a feeling that just 10 orc boys make it to those bloodletters, they're no longer a factor in the game. He probably won't kill all of them, but they're just not going to be relevant again.
Exactly. So when
there's-
I've used bloodletters, you typically use them as like a clearing out the small units that you know it's going to kill, because for that exact reason they can't cop a counter charge really or a counter hit.
Yeah, which is why I thought they should be where the Lord of Change is, because that was where the smallest concentration of orcs was. And if he could go with a frontage of, let's say, 10 guys across and only be into combat with like 8 or 9 orcs. And of course,
Yeah,
he either has to pick up all his middle stuff that's going to be on the objective and leave it to the beasts, and then get to attack the bloodletters, or do vice versa, and take the beasts out. Although, have the beasts made it to the bloodletters, or have they just charged the 5 commandos that were in front?
They've just charged the commandos, man. They're not actually in. Oh no, they are in combat with the boys. Just above the top
I
right
thought, yeah.
beast. It's in contact. Yep.
Mm. I think it doesn't look like he's going to get many boys in combat with the Bloodletters, but he's still using his dice app, so that means still means there's like 40
Yeah,
attack.
it is so funny. Aaron's getting making jokes because Rory has like 2 models, and he's like, "Nah, do your attacks," and Aaron's like, "Fuck you, man." He made him do 30 boys on 2 Nurglings.
That's hilarious. Rosa, you troll.
The art of milk coming at its
Art of
finest.
milk in action. It's coming at its finest.
That was
The art of-
that was unintended. That.
Oh, it's so good. No. You claim that shit.
All right, maybe so. Let's see what happens at the end of this combat. The retaliation.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. I'm interested to see how many Bloodletters get picked up. Admittedly, like I don't think it's that many Orcs that are going to make combat. I think it might be, unless he doesn't make combat at all. He's picked himself out. I know he's got some casualties. 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5, 6. That's bad. 7, 8. That's
Yeah,
real bad.
See, this is exactly what you said. You
9,
hit
10.
The smallest concentration.
Yep, and that's
off the
right.
Objective. Yep.
11, 12. That unit is no longer combat effective.
Yep,
It can no longer go in and kill half a unit of boys. So negligible. Shit, you can shoot it down with sluggers now.
Honestly, personally, I'm only finding the Bloodletters actually good against like the 2-win Marines. I think with most other things they don't do as much, or maybe like a 5-man scent squad.
Yep, that makes sense.
But like the big hordes, like every time I've run into seen them run into orcs, it's like hit half unit maybe, and then just flop.
We got the attacks from the Beast of Nurgle coming in now. Do you know what's going to happen? This is just Rosa luck, luck of the milk. He's going to roll a 1 and get like 5 of those Bloodletters back.
See, that's why. Look, he's calm. He's stone cold on his face. He's.
You
fine.
can smell it. It's on the air. It's already happened. It's the prophecy has been told. Nick, tell us the story, man. How's the feel of the event right now?
Yeah, it's good, man. Everyone's pretty pumped, man. Let's cruise over. Obviously, Liam's team's looking like it's going down. I think the Art of War team, AK, that AdMech is the only thing left on the table over there. The Gold Coast 1 team, I had a 2 team. I had a chat to them. They got much better matchups. So in this round, they're looking like they might get somewhere better than they did in the previous one.
Fantastic. So we're just having a look at the ladder here, yeah?
Yeah, right. Yep. Okay. So this live as we go. This is the previous round, is it?
Yeah, well, no, I don't think any full results have come in yet, have they?
No, not
This
yet.
won't have been updated from last time. But it's interesting to see that you guys think that the Globo Gym Cobras have paired poorly and that they're going down.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Liam's obviously got a big win, but there's a lot of that's being countered by AK's big win with the AdMech there.
Yeah.
Paul and Ben, it's close. Ben's just ahead at the moment, but Paul thinks he might be able to bring it back. And Dan, obviously, he has most of his big things left, but there's a lot of Plague Bearers on the table.
What's the how much time left in the round, boys?
I'd say we're about halfway through right
Wow,
now.
only halfway. So yeah, all these games look like they're going to get a conclusion out of them, at least something definitive. But yeah, Nick, pick a game. Let's have a look.
All right, yeah, no worries. Eric's. Oh yeah, so we're going to go to the Marine on Marine because that's nearly finished.
Jesus.
Score wise, well, there's not much left. So
That's
just spaced
right.
out a few dudes here. Here we go. It's coming up now. So Luke's going to go and have a look at the scores here. If you can see the bottom right-hand side there, is it? Yeah, the bottom right there. Wadey has his interceptors just holding out. No, sorry, Duck has his interceptors just holding out there.
Before we had the aggressors looking like they were going to Hail Mary into the Vanguard vets. It looks like both those squads have now been vaporized. We've got some attack bikes left for Wade, but man, Wade looks really thin on the ground, doesn't he?
Yeah, man, it looks like Wade's nearly Gonskis.
Yeah. Looks like he might have a character and an attack bike onto the upper left and middle objective that are going into Duck's attack bikes. It looks like he's got another character and what looks to be 2 more attack bikes. I can't see anything else for him.
No, it doesn't seem to be much left. Yeah, Duck's got his one little infiltrator sitting on there. Duck's holding most of the objectives. It definitely seems like Duck's in a real strong position here.
Great objectives they're using, by the way. Look at those beautiful things.
They are good, and we can hook you up with them if you want to.
Hit us up
purchase
if you're all interested in those guys. They're beautiful looking things. But yeah, bottom right hand corner. You said that's Ducks Inceptors.
Bottom right hand corner. Yeah, he's got. Yeah, so your bottom right. Sorry, it's flipped for us for some reason. That camera must be. Oh yeah, I see. The camera's upside down. So he's moving him now. Yeah, there is Inceptors.
All right. So I'm of the opinion Steve's about to get tabled.
Yeah, I'd say so too. So Lukey's punching the scores, and I think when we come back, we're going to find out that it's not going to be good.
18
so we may
18-2 right now.
Yeah, and that's only going to get worse.
I'm interested to get. Well, you guys feel free to chat with whichever one of those guys you want to, but that looks to have gone pretty much perfection as far as the Art of Milk is, because they've got their big dick swinger. Their big dick swinger list has managed to do the job and looks to be getting close to a 20 against the opponent's predatory list.
Yeah, 100%, man. This is a big play, especially for Duck to come through for his team and take out another big player. So once they wrap it up, this is the bottom of turn 4, apparently. So they've still got another turn to go. Once they're done, we'll get both of them on here for a chat.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah, cool. Fair enough. We can jump around then. We just saw the state of this. It's pretty much wrapped up, guys. There's going to be either an 18, 19, or 20 win to Mr. Hayden Waldock and the Art of Milk. Big issue. Big deal there. And where are we now, man?
Oh, I'm very smoothly transitioned over to Eric's table there.
You did.
Now that I've got it all under control. And you can see, as I mentioned earlier, Eric is just tendriling out, taking over the board. Michael's losing his on that whole right flank that we've got there. All his units are gone from there. He still has some breaches on the back, which is just out of line of sight. So the camera's probably been knocked again.
Yeah, wow. Eric's just starting to take chunks out of him now. Both of the Scorpius Disintegrators have been picked up. That's really interesting to me.
Yeah, 100%. What I might do is I might quickly go over to Aaron and Rory's game because those scores have been updated. And then as the scores update, we'll cruise around the table.
No, that makes a good call. And by all means, direct this as you will, mate.
All right, so bringing up Aaron and Rory's game now. So their scores have been updated.
Oof, Aaron's looking pretty solid.
Yeah, Aaron is definitely looking like he's got that in control.
What turn are these guys be on now? This is only bottom of turn 2 though. So there's a long time.
Bottom of turn 2, Aaron said.
Why the primary? So Simon's asked why the primary so low for Eric and Michael. I'm of the opinion they've just started their turn 3, so that's probably around about to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's correct. But I think you'll find with Eric, he doesn't really get many primaries until turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, and that's where he looks to get his 40 points. And he's pretty happy just getting 40 points and stopping people from getting secondaries.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Vital Intelligence is a hard one to get high primary scores on. It's hold 2 for 5, 3 for another 5, and then hold more. And as you see the way they were both playing they're both playing in like an L formation. Nobody was committing to the middle of the table apart from like a little tendril here or there. And so, yeah, that's going to keep your primaries low and you're just playing to deny it. But you're right, Steve. Spot on. Sorry, Nick, spot on. That's exactly what he was doing. He doesn't care about the primary. He just wants to control his opponent's secondaries.
Yeah, that's it. Especially being a put forward list, he's happy to just get that small win that he needs to get for his team.
Right now, it does look like that's what he's going to get.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be surprised to see that go 15-5. Turn 4, turn 5, that's when Eric literally crushes your soul.
he yells out fatality and presses down forward punch.
Yeah, that's it. All right, so we might cruise on over to the Necron table.
I'm of the opinion that Aaron's pretty much got this in the bag, unless there's some crazy dramatic swing. He didn't green tide. He didn't freaking green tide. So that is very interesting. He didn't bother. He must think he's in too dominant position. That unit of 2 race has been picked up, yeah, Nick?
Yes, it looks like it. So they obviously got tied down, or they just pull back and blowed them up. So as we can tell there's 2 missiles left on those Manticores. Justin just reached to grab one.
Yep. This is the swing game, isn't it, mate? So right now we've got Rory going down. We got Hayden getting a big win, and now we've got Michael Neighbor probably going down to Eric, we're assuming. But dude, this could tie it up. If Justin gets a good solid win here or continues to apply the pressure, this could equal out or nullify Eric's list, and then it's just how big does Aaron beat Rory to tie up what Hayden did to Steve?
Yeah, and that could actually take both these teams out of running for the tournament.
Yeah, this is right. This is so good. Do you guys have a differential for a win, or loss, or a draw? Is there an amount of points you can be, like WTC, if you're within, I think it's 12 points or 15 points of each other, it's counted as a draw?
Yeah, that's correct, yep.
Okay, very interesting. Yeah, Simon, this is going to be a hell of a freaking round, man. But this is the swing game. I think we know the outcomes of most of the others. This one still is yet to be decided.
Yeah, I think if Justin can get a big-ish win here, which I'm not sure if he can because it's so close, but if Justin can get some kind of win, then maybe it might even go in Arden Milk's favour.
So we just had a confirmation by Diffie. A 46 will get you the win. So anything less than a 46 is considered a draw. Because actually, it's out of 80 points.
Yeah, 45 is a draw, correct.
So this could be a draw round, guys. If it's a draw round, man, there's going to be some lamenting. But man, what a freaking round it would be.
100%. Just so you know, I'll just tell you, Simon, it is Stocko scoring. He will get a chuckle out of that.
Scoring. I don't know what that means, but good for Stocko.
Only Simon will.
You and Simon's go way back, don't you?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. All right, so let's see what else we've got going on. So obviously, Aaron and Rory have an updated score, so it's 17-3.
Yikes! So that looks like it might be close to the same result that Hayden got. So when we could have Hayden and Rory's game nullifying each other, and then Eric's and Justin's and James's game nullifying each other.
Yeah, that's it. Do you remember how in the matchup process, obviously, what happened with Rory and Aaron, how these were matched?
So I believe Rory went up and they put Aaron into him, if I remember right. Diffie might be able to tell us. He'll have the pairings, possibly have the pairings numbers and mode. But I might have a quick look. So we knew that we know that Eric was first put up, yeah? So
yeah,
Eric
that's
went
correct.
First, right?
So I've got Luke. Luke's gotten into it. Yeah, so Eric went up first and he was matched into Michael.
Michael Neighbour. And then so that means Rory went up and they matched Aaron into him. And then it was auto paired, the other two.
Yeah, sweet. So this is actually turning out exactly as the Art of War.
Exactly right. It's spot on, brother. Good pickup.
So then again, that comes back to Eric's great matchups.
Adaptive subroutines, yes. Unfortunately, I think as of right now, the Necrons are running out of steam. So if you'll see, the Scorpic Destroyers that were in the middle of the table are now gone. The unit of 2 race is gone, and the unit of 5 race has copped 2 payload Mandacores and been reduced to only 2 race left. I believe that's probably going to be the death knell for them winning this game. It's just whether or not they can build up a respectable enough score. It's actually stupidly important that the Necron player goes for it now and tries to get every single point he can.
100%, man. This is where the roles of coaches and stuff like that come involved, and they can go around, look at the teams, and say, "Man, we need you to get us a win." Luke is working on getting Duck over. I think Duck is coming over for an interview.
Fabulous.
I'll just grab him now.
Do you want to take care of the interview, mate? You can chat to him if you want.
Yeah, no worries at all.
All right, all yours.
All right, he's just going to make sure that his team's going good, and then he'll come down. I'll grab Wadey, actually, while we got him.
Fantastic.
All right, Wadey's going to come on, and he's going to tell us about how good his list is and how powerful Marines are. So just bear with us. We're just teaching him how to talk.
Oh, look at that interview screen. All right, all yours, Nick.
Yeah, we've got a new interview screen. All right, cheers. Wadey, how's it going, mate?
It's not great.
Hold up, his headphones on backwards.
Huh? So G to talk.
We're a talented bunch of Australians, aren't we?
I'm doing all right. I just got stomped by a Marine mirror match, so that was fun.
Nice. How'd that play out? So how did the matchups work with you boys?
How the matchups go, or how did my match go?
How did the matchup process go? So let's start at the start. What happened? How did you get matched up into Dark?
Well, no one wanted Duck, and I don't think anyone wanted me, right? So I think in terms of the matchups, Duck and I were probably meant to play in that match.
Yeah, that's pretty a fair call. I had you, man. I thought you were going to get him. I thought you were just going to hold off the first couple of turns, then punch out turn 3 and take him over. So give us a rundown. What happened with that?
In terms of the match, that mission's really bad for my army. So I want to be bullying people to be playing me with hammer and anvil. So in terms of that mission, in terms of his mobility and his ability to bully, it's about on par with mine, right? So the second he made me split, and I was trying to fight him like now in a Dawn of War where he's running down the side of me, I was cooked.
Yeah, 100%. He had that big castle, so you couldn't actually just come into him and be aggressive like your list likes to be. We saw you had those assault, the attack blocks come down that flank there and attack him. So what was your plan with them?
So with those guys, I was trying to split him. I was trying to give him something and pull him so he wouldn't have as much coming sort of at my brick or coming down the side. The thing with his list is he's got the infiltrators and the redeploy, and I don't. So he's way more mobile than my list. So in terms of our lists, they're very similar, but we both solve the same problem in different ways. So I get my mobility for having heaps of fast stuff. I can advance and charge and advance and shoot. He gets his mobility from being able to just bow, whoop, that's the infiltrators, whoop, which is a huge problem for me because it's elite. I can't be like, oh, have a 175 point blade guard unit to get rid of you from this objective. Yeah, sick. So in terms of match, like that's a real bad match for me.
Yeah, you definitely just didn't have the throwaway units or the way to block him or anything like that. So we saw those Assault Centurions. I love them. I've talked them up in your previous game. You had them on the other side of the board. I was like, wait till we see what he does with these. He got through them. What did he get rid of them with?
So his Vanguard vets, they've got Power Fists. They get exploding sixes and +1 to hit first round of combat. So yeah, they handily killed 5 Centurions, and not much can really do that in the game right now.
Yeah, that's true. And taking away one of your biggest things, that really hurts you. And you did say a few times you use like an anvil. So you've got them, you've got the blade guard around you, and then you've got your aggressors as well. Adam mentioned maybe for this matchup, you might have been better with some flame aggressors. Do you feel that's true?
I think for this match, I probably needed some infiltrators or some like chaff or whatever Marines runners chaff to help me hold and to help me push and score. I think I lost my attack bikes cheaply, so that dude just rolled 5s and 6s for dropping my attack bikes. Yeah, I think for my archetypal list, that's probably the limit. I think unless we went back and rebuilt the list, I probably will lose that game 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah, 100%. So let's just, before you go, we'll just talk about your secondary. So the secondaries that you picked actually mirrored Ducks. So you both had Grind 'em Down, you both had Oath of Moment, you had the exact same things. Did you put any thought into what Duck might be picking before you went with yours?
I thought Duck would choose the same. Scramblers is a great option for Marines, but with his infiltrators and his ability to screen, it's not an option for me anymore. Other than that, like Banners is bad for that mission because of the way the objectives are set out. So in that mission, you've got one objective in your deployment and then the rest are mid-board. And then that will lead to me reaching too much just to try and score points, which would end up in the same result. Yeah, for me, sort of the best options was Grind It Down, Oath, which is auto take for Marines, and whatever the other one I took.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, so you just got to back yourself to beat him. Like, you've taken them, he's taken the same. You just got to back yourself. Adam, do you have anything to ask Steve while we got him?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Grapple Factory. You've come on as a sponsor for this stream and for Art of War. Please tell us a little bit about what you do, man.
So Grapple Factory is the gym Dan and I co-own and run together. So Grapple Factory is a jiu-jitsu and wrestling gym at Everton Park, and Dan's the strength and conditioning guy upstairs. So yeah, we're like a nerd sort of gym, so we do like games nights and stuff, as well as being like a combat sports and strength and conditioning gym.
Weaponized nerd is a term I've heard thrown around.
Fearsome. What a fearsome breed you're producing. Thank you so much for your game, man. Sorry it went the wrong way. But, dude, I think one of you guys was going to get Hail Married. And with picking the same secondaries, especially both picking Grind, I was just like, yeah, one of you guys is going to score that. One of you guys isn't. But, dude, well played. If you could conceptualize how you are wielded in your team, when you were writing your list, were you writing a list like no fat, no fucking about, everything's going to punch, everything's going to kill?
Yeah, so pretty much that's a very similar list to what I've been running for singles events leading up to this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a hammer. It's not there to like just score points or just hold on. It's there like, if I'm playing against someone, it's there to stomp, and if it doesn't stomp, it's gonna what just happened will happen with the list, because it's completely elite. There's no like. There's no fat on the list, as you said. That everything either punches in combat or shoots.
Dude, thank you so much. I really appreciate your list. I think it's an absolute powerhouse, and I hope you smash it for the rest of the event.
Boom. Thank you, boys.
All right, well, I'm going to transition this over to the Necron game, because obviously
that's in the balance.
I think that's what's going to be the biggest
yeah, well, that and Eric's game. So Eric's currently down by it's 11-9, and this one is currently a 12-8. So as of right now, this is going to be a draw round, guys. Right now, it's actually exactly the same on points. Hayden got an 18-2. Aaron's on track to get a 17-3, which even each other out. Even each other out when you take into effect Michael Neighbor is up by 2 points, and Justin is up by 2 points. So this is ridiculous. This is actually ridiculous if this pans out the way it does. Is right
100%, man. I would say it's a big upset too. And looking at the Necron game, there is not a lot of Necrons left.
Well, this is what Eric said. Eric said this was the lineup he worried about the most, and I think he won the pairing. So it's very interesting to see if he thinks anything went wrong in hindsight.
Oh, well, he lost the pairings because he went up first.
Of course. But I think he would be very happy to have had Steve go into Duck, yeah?
No, I think maybe something happened with the championship matchups. I think maybe Eric may have thought that the champion was Duck.
Do you think this Necron list into Duck would have been a better matchup for him?
No, not really. But I think they just needed to get points out of Wadey. That was the point. So losing points out of Wadey, which, like he said, is the hammer list. I think that could be what's
exactly. That's actually exactly right. In that matchup, one of them gets stomped. There's no way the other guy gets many points out of it. The Necrons versus the Marines, someone could very well get points out of that, pretty reliably.
Yeah, that's it, 100%. Well, I actually have the captain of Art of Milk here with me.
They let him be the captain?
Duck himself. So just chuck that headset on, bro.
He's going to get his singing voice on first.
Yeah, no worries. So we'll go back to
Look at that handsome bald man. All right, all you, mate.
Hey, Duck, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, good. Had a good solid win on the mirror match.
Yeah, nice. That was one of the matchups. So when we were looking at it, we're like, "Ooh, this is going to be a close game, and it will turn it around." I actually had Wadey, man. I thought Wadey was going to come out. I thought from turn 3 onwards he was going to get you, but you stomped him.
Yeah. So with that list, it's tough when your army only plays the back 60% of the game when you don't turn on from turn 3. And Gotchi loves the shirt. You're welcome, mate. Yeah, when a list doesn't turn on until turn 3 and you have a fast-moving, well-converting combat list, it's hard when you actually try and engage it.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So what did you think with the keys there? So obviously, matchup-wise, did you want to go into that?
Yeah, I wanted to take the Marines for the team because 2 of the guys had it as a hard red and 1 of the guys had it as a iffy match. So Rory would have played it for minimal scoring by hiding. So I thought if I jumped on it, I'd be able to take it out and do a bit of a solid for the team.
Yeah, sweet. Well, looking at the scores, man, it's pretty much a dead even draw. So what was your thoughts behind the champion here? What made you put Justin as a champion?
Yeah, so I didn't want to put myself as champion because it wouldn't give me the chance to dive on the tough lists that come out. Michael had some neither here nor there matchups, and Rory had a couple of reds. So I knew if I had to throw Rory up and if he got matched into the Marines, it would sort of free up a little bit for the rest of us. But Justin was pretty consistent across the board, and with this mission, the only one that really bothered him was Eric, and I really didn't think Eric would put himself as champion. He plays sort of like me. He wants to dive on the grenade for the team.
Yeah, 100%. That's how Eric is. So, what else has been going on with your Marines? They're pretty solid so far. Obviously got 2 big wins, yeah?
Yeah, yep. So I got a 19 round 1 against Orcs. Obviously a big win there. Played a pretty similar list a couple of weeks ago at a little 3 games, 1 day event, and picked up three straight wins and picked up the event, which was good. I tweaked it a little bit. I've put in more attack bikes, so it was 1 battalion. Pulled out a unit of intercessors, tweaked some points here and there, and got that extra unit of attack bikes in. So I had a 4-man eradicator squad. I've just pulled it back to 3 and thrown the attack bikes in. But the thing that actually came in clutch, I had some points left over. Didn't quite know what to put them on. Didn't really want to throw another fist on the Vanguard unit because that means as soon as someone kills one of them, they're getting a bit of value out of it, where I have 2 chainswords, so you've got to kill 2 Vanguards to really get a bit of value out of hitting them first. Well, technically 3, because the Bokthera will probably revive 1. So what I did is actually put the Helix Adept on my Infiltrators. Just a couple of points left over. For those who don't know what to do, it turns the first failed save into 0 damage.
Yep.
Which seems kind of cool. Actually came in extremely clutch when Steve rocked up. Steve rocked up and charged 5 Blade Guard vets into them. So 5 Blade Guard vets, 5 Infiltrators. You pretty much put the bets on
Blade Guard will win. I transhuman them to pull them back to Force to wound. Get 6 wounds. I pass one of my 6 up saves. It does 5 failed. He goes, that's a squad. I said, actually, first one goes to 0 damage. So only 4 die. I'm obsec, you're not. I keep the objective. And that was a really big swing.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what me and Adam were saying, because we're like, whoa, he's got one dude left, and that's probably going to cost the game, and that's obviously what it did. So, Adam, I'll cross over to you. Do you have any questions for Duck here?
Mate, he just said everything for me. I was like, yeah, Duck's the better army for the first 2-3 turns, and then it's all Wade. Duck needs to front load everything. Wade needs to not commit, and you forced his commitment, man. So well done. You forced his commitment. You forced him to actually try and use the Assault Centurions and let you gobble them up. Would you change anything about your list in hindsight? And how do you feel about the 4 lists that you've put together? Would you change any now that you've seen what the rest of the field is looking like and how people are being wielded?
Look, we were kind of not restricted, but Justin on the guard is relatively new to 9th. He played a bit of 8th and then sort of dropped off at the end of 8th. So he pretty much just picked up the list that he had. That's why it looks very 8th edition. Rory's is pretty solid. I'm happy with mine. And Michael's pretty happy on the little AdMech train, so he tweaked it and put his own little things on there. I would have liked to get a like an OBSEC Horde or something in there. Michael was looking at a like Coven's Cornucopia style list that just jumps around the table and tries to deny points and whatnot. So we thought that would be alright, but kind of wanted the second shooting list, so we went with that.
Well, he's the boy who's keeping you in it right now. Justin is looking like the guy who could win it or lose it for you. Michael Neighbour and Eric are looking neck and neck, and it's Eric. We expect him to have a strong back end last 3 turns. Justin, we thought Justin was boned going into the Necrons. We thought he was going to get swamped, tied up, and just piecemeal demolished over a couple of turns. He's managed to hold off the Necrons to keep them back, and looks like he's on his way to getting a win. Don't know how big a win, but it could be the difference between you guys winning the round, losing the round, or drawing is what I think is the most likely outcome.
Yeah, so I think Justin's actually going to carry the team throughout this one because he's just picked up a Scramblers. He's picked up his 10 points.
Yeah, yep.
Which that's obviously not updated yet.
So that'll push it to the 15. I thought it might end up happening.
Yeah. So what I'm aiming at is Roy's probably going to go down pretty hard because he can't hold multiple objectives against the OBSEC Horde.
He's getting 17-3'd at the moment on our scores.
Look, if he gets more than 3, I'll be happy. But
be proud of him.
I realistically see it being a 2 or 1. Aaron's going to run away with the primary a little bit there. But what I'm seeing is Rory getting a 2, Justin getting a 17. He's going to run away at the back end, and Michael pulling a 12 and just pulling us into a little win.
Man, if you guys get a little win, absolute coup. Art of Milk putting down Art of War. What a legendary story.
Mate, grab them by the udders and get yourself a nice drink.
Well, thank you so much, my brother. We'll go back to calling these 2 last relevant games. But yeah, if this does come out, that puts you. Oh, never mind, he's gone. That puts you in contention, and that would pretty much mean you're either playing Liam's crew, being the Cobras, or the other Art of War team. How do you feel like your team shapes up against those 2 matchups?
Good question. We shape up better against Liam's team.
I thought so too.
Because none of them want anything to do with me. They have select matchups against the guard, and they don't really want much to do with the demons either.
The AdMech is also a bit of a weapon as well. It's only got like 2 bad matchups.
Yeah. So because the next one's hold 1, hold 2, the demons and the AdMech sort of can bully a lot of armies away from the middle of the table and win the back end of those games as well. Funny enough, Liam and I have a gentleman's agreement. I don't know if he's going to honour or not to put both of us champion. Because he wants a rematch after the last event. So I said, okay, gentleman's agreement, throw it champion, and we'll roll it out on the table, mate. Hopefully for the win of the event, but we'll see if he honours his word. We'll see if Liam, Dr. Hackett, is a man of his word.
Well, he'd be stupid too, but he'd be a man of his word. I think your list stumps him if he does. But it's Liam. He's good. So
I think he was considering it, and then he walked past my table round 1 and saw that I was that elbow deep in the Orcs round 1, and I think he quickly rethought his idea.
Fair enough.
He walked up and he saw my 5 Blade Guard with +1 to wound kill 38 wounds worth of Orc boys in the charge, and he goes, nah, it's off.
How do you get the +1 to wound?
Chaplain Litany.
Of course.
So
beautiful, mate. Well,
they rocked up with Chaplain Litany +1 to wound, already wounding on 3, so pushes it to 2s. Hit on 2s, full real hit, and explodes. So
That is vile. Anyway, we'll let you go, dude. You enjoy the rest. You go smash some beers, enjoy your boys, and keep an eye on these two ends. And we'll get back to calling these last two games.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks very much, man, for joining us.
All right, I've got the 4 tables up here so we can see where we're going. Obviously, Ducky's game's gone. Eric is in destroy mode. So looking at his table, he's walking around everywhere, getting his tendrils out like he likes to. He's spread out of the table. So let's go have a look at that table. We've got table 4 there.
Well, this is a big deal. Michael Neighbour needs to hold the line. He needs to hold on and not give up a big score here.
Yeah, that's it, man. And, like, obviously, again, we spoke about at the start, like, are you happy with a 10 from someone that obviously you look up to as a good player? The answer to me is no. You need to be able to get the points that you need for your team regardless of who you're up against. And that's what it's come down to now for Michael.
Well, but Michael's now looking like I was saying, yeah, if you hold Eric to a 10, your team would see that as a win. At least that's where I was speaking it from. But yeah, now it looks like he'd be lucky to get an 8 or a 7. Because I feel like the primary is about to have a huge swing in Eric's favour over the next 2 turns.
Yeah, that's what he likes to do. He's like to just chill. Oh, turn 4-5. Oh, actually, you're down by 13. So hard luck.
And a good point there by Simon, Nick. What do you think about Eric? Eric being able to pick his table, and he picked the most dense of the 4 tables to play on, absolutely by design. Do you think that's changed the metrics in this?
Yeah, definitely. Because obviously he's been able to take the breaches out, and as we saw, he's pretty much hid for the first 2-3 turns. He's picked off the AdMech. He's made them soft. He's taken out the targets that he's need to so that he can't be hurt back, and now he's out and he's free to do whatever he wants.
Top left-hand corner to your eye, is that the Repentia?
Yes.
Oof. So what is actually left for Michael? I see 5 models on the table.
Yeah, man, I think that's about it. So Eric's obviously turned around, seen the Ducks had a big win, seen his team's in trouble, and now he's going for it. So I wouldn't be surprised, man, if we see Eric do something crazy, get some kind of 20, just because his team...
I'll be surprised if there's enough time for him to get a 20. But, geez, he's going to... If he swings this into a big score, that's all she wrote for Eric and for Ducky and his team at the start. Raise the Banners was a bad pick for a secondary. I agree. As for the the Mechanicus, they picked Raise the Banners, While We Stand, and Data Intercept. The only good pick, I think, there was While We Stand. And even then, I think he's giving up those points now as well. Lucas joined us back. How you doing, dude?
Yeah, good, man. Just did a little run around the tournament, seeing everybody's games, having a chat to the players who have finished. Everybody's doing pretty well. I just went and had a look at Josh McGowan and Liam Hackett's game. It's a very tight game. Yep. It honestly looks pretty much dead even, and it's turn 4 or something. Yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting. That matchup would be fantastic as well.
No, so Liam was pushing in, and he's pushing in hard, but the scores are relatively good. Like, Josh is doing a good job. But I think Josh has run out of models, same as last game, essentially. So I think Liam's going to run away with it with the last turn or 2.
How are the rest of the games going for that team? Because it looked to me like, obviously, AK was up. He got a big win, I think. Mm-hmm. And then Dan, I think, was also winning. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I was looking at Dan versus Brent. Dan looks like he's doing pretty well in that game. I think he might get the 20 there, by the way things were playing out. Brent was kind of forced back into his deployment zone. Wasn't really going anywhere, unfortunately. Ben, Richard, I didn't actually look at his game. I think they were finished. Because he hasn't been at his table for a while. So maybe they finished.
Yeah, well, that's true. When I went over there before, Ben was in like sort of a commanding position, but Paul felt like that he was killing enough warriors and Necrons that he was able to push back.
So maybe who do you think won that game? Because I actually haven't checked. I can check it now.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Ben.
Well, they haven't put anything up in DUP, so there's no freaking idea what they've done.
Actually, I think Ben's just cruising around talking to everyone, being the social butterfly, because they're now back at the table.
Both just appeared back at the table, so they're not finished. That's my.
Oh Jesus! Slackers. But good for them. It's
got to walk around and have a chat.
Yeah, well, it's good that they're trying to enjoy themselves. They're enjoying the event. I mean, like this isn't for any bells and whistles. Only a 3-gamer. But still, you do your best for your team. There's no excuse to never do your best for your team. So if I was to catch somebody who's getting his ass handed to him, strolling around, taking it easy, maybe I'd have a word.
Oh, 100%. And I'd say that's why Wadey's talking about Duck, about what he could have done better there.
Yeah, well, dude, exactly right. That's what you do. If you get your ass handed to you, you go and find out what you could have done different.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially in a mirror.
I might cruise off and see if there's someone else for Luke to interview.
Beautiful. Thanks, man.
Okay.
Simon's just said, because of Vanguard deployment and scout ability, while we stand, we fight. While we stand, I think he does have while we stand, engage, and not 100% sure of the last one. Yeah, engage for sure. You'd be happy to take the 10 points on engage in that mission, in that matchup, right? I think that's listed where Simon's going with it. But yeah, man, all of a sudden, Michael looks like it's probably going to get a big pendulum shift in that score. And James Fairman needs to hit his foot on the pedal and go for every single freaking point he can in order to nullify what's about to happen to Mr. Neighbor versus Eric.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Hayden about the game between Justin and James, and we're looking at it, and obviously the game's done. We don't talk to the players anymore. But I was like, yeah, what do you think about this one? And he's like, man, this Necron player needs to get moving because he's not on any objectives yet, and the guard player's pushing back. But what's the score looking like? It's
28-13. It's a 12-8 towards Justin. Justin needs a few more points, man. The idea now is I feel like Art of Milk needs to play for the draw. But who have you got with you, Licky?
So I got with me Bodhi. Bodhi is correct?
Yeah, man.
Mr. Big Nell, the Big Nell himself.
Oh, am I known, am I?
But me and Sully memed the hell out of your name and trying to make you famous for having such a big Nell.
It's pretty cool, man. Hear my real name too. It's actually Bodhisattva, bro.
Really?
Try pronouncing that.
For that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Cheers. Nice.
It's pretty crazy.
Wild. Yeah, Big Nell is far more memeable.
Hell yeah, man. I went through whole primary school.
Well, Lukey, I'll leave you to interview Bodhi, and I'll join in at the end.
Yeah, of course. So Bodhi, I hear. Oh, hang on. So I hear you're one of the only Tyranid players. How's that going?
I'm a bit of a rare breed, but it's really fun. I like Tyranids. It's honestly the only reason why I'm playing it. Round 1, I got tabled, but round 2, I tabled, so it's kind of how it works with Tyranids, you know?
So what team are we part of here? I'll get up...
part of the Gold Coast 2 team, so number 10. Yeah, on the bottom.
Cool. So do you want to run us through your list and tell us why you took the NIDs and why you got things in there?
Yeah, so it's honestly kind of a little bit of the old school where we took the Kraken and the Kronos detachment. The Kronos detachment is real simple. We take the best slot of shooting with Tyranids have, which is 6 Hive Guard and Exocrine. We also take Neurothroat to give exploding 6s, which becomes exploding 5s on an Exocrine, which melts Primaris, which is good because we don't have very, very many things to do that. We also have 2 Rippers. They're actually really, really good with Kronos because you'll bring them up turn 2. And we have the Kronos Strat, which is just 1 CP, a unit that's within 24 trying to do a psychic test. We make them do on 1 dice instead of 2. You can really nullify the very kind of crucial psychic powers. Then with the Kraken detachment, we have good old blob of Gene Steals, 20 of them for Broodlord. We also have the Swarm Lord to launch them pretty well. I'm sure everyone knows what they do. It's kind of a turn 1 charge. It gives your opponent something to have to deal with. It gives the rest of your army a chance to deploy where they need to, get the scramblers off, stuff like that. I also have, I think, a fairly interesting Hive Tyrant. He's just got wings, lots of scything talents. He's also got an adaptive physiology. It gives him +1 strength, damage, and -1 AP. And the whole point about him is turn 1, I launch him up with the Gene Stealers. But he doesn't stay there. He kills 1 unit or whatever, and we use the stratagem Overrun to get him back out there because he's really, really fast. And we want to try and poke away with that. That's what happened in my game 2 as versus Chaos, and I did it 3 turns in a row, where I just took off a squad, run away, couldn't shoot me, couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, nice. So you're not overrunning the Gene Stealers because that's typically what you see most of the time, yeah?
Yeah, well, Gene Stealers, they're kind of really like hot or not. Like the last one I went to, the Brisbane GT, there was 2 other Tyrannid players, but they didn't run Gene Stealers. They were just the whole Gauntmat, which is probably the best way to run it, but in this format, it's absolutely terrible because you'll get that one list that's really good against Horde, and it's not good. Needs to run something that's a bit more generalist, I feel.
So, so you're not currently a representative player in part of one of the teams, right?
What do you mean by representative?
So
sorry?
played in like ATC or ETC or anything like that?
No. I've only ever played 3 tournaments. One was the Intro to Night tournament held here a couple months ago, and the Brisbane GT and today. So it's real fun. I used to play when I was a kid back in 5th ed. One of the other players here, Danny Giles, him and I used to be best friends, and we used to play all the time. So it was good really getting back into it and bringing out my models that I haven't played in like 10 years. Having a good time.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear, man, because because actually Danny Giles, he's a really good guy. I played him in a number of tournaments. But I was going to ask you, what do you feel about the team event format compared to singles event? How do you feel, being someone who hasn't come to a team event before?
I absolutely love it, and I want to do it more. I feel like it's really cool for us because my team are all quite new to it, so we're all still learning this together. It feels good. We get to talk, get interests together. I feel like I'm a lot more motivated because I was the kind of guy that really only plays 40k like once every month or two, to be honest. Kind of get distracted by other things, but whenever team event, I got people to talk to, interact with all the time. It really helps. Plus the actual format itself. For me, Tyranids, I have a lot of bad matchups, but I have a couple of really good ones. So it's good that if my captain actually works right, round one, I asked him, give me any matchup except for Necrons. He wins the roll-off. They put up Necrons, and he gives me Necrons.
Bam.
And I just wanted to... He talked to me later. He's like, I didn't know it was going to be that bad for you. And I was like, mate, I literally lost turn one. What do you want me to do here?
No, yeah. So yeah, I'd like to say. Oh, first I'd like to ask, your matchups, green, red. What were your two matchups?
Was this for this slot we're doing right now?
Oh yeah, so sorry, we use what we call a traffic light system when we do matchups in team tournaments. So typically what you do is you go through all the lists and you go, cool, my list is really good against this one. I'm going to give it a green. I'll likely score a lot of points. My list is really bad against this one. I'm not going to score many points. I'll give it a red. And if it's an in-between, you give it a yellow. So in terms of your matchups today, if your captain worked reasonably well, you would have got a number of greens, right? Or possibly reds, depending on your team. So what would you have rated your matchups today?
Yeah, my first one, as I was saying before, the Necrons, that's really, really bad. The main reason is I can't really stop because he was playing the Kinetic Spider list where he spams all those. He charged my entire gun line turn one. I had Hive Guard that lasted for 4 turns and didn't shoot once. So he just tied it up constantly. As far as good matchups, I really, really want a Death Guard. I don't know why. Look on paper, I feel like Death Guard should win, but I've literally never lost to Death Guard. It's the only faction I haven't lost to.
I guess you're anti-Nurgle, right? Anti-number
It's pretty
7.
cool. Something like that. I feel like in general, just really like kind of slower armies. I like versing Custodes. I feel like I can really kind of outplay them, especially if the Hulk Gaunts just moving around, movement denying them. They really get stuck in their deployment zone. It's not so good. Bad matchups. Number one is Space Marines and anything that's really good in close combat. I got absolutely wrecked at the Brisbane GT. I was on Stream Table 1 on the first round, and I versed Space Wolves, and it was not fun. I felt so bad. I'm like, wait, everyone's watching me. I get my ass.
Yeah, that's what happens when you play Marine sometimes, huh?
That was versus Aaron Green playing the Orcs here.
Yes, Aaron Green's quite a contender here, especially with the Marines. But he's playing Orcs today, so yeah. But anyway, I'd like to say thanks very much for coming on, Bodie. Appreciate your input.
Thanks for inviting me. It's good meeting you. Love the event.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you so much, dude. Champion. The fame and glory of the Big Nell grows.
Yes. All right, so let's have a look. I want to have a look at Rory and the Art of Milk top table. You know, the Milky table.
Do you guys think he can hold on for a 17-3?
Let's have a look.
Man, what a pile of shit this is.
Oh man. So you called no turn 5, right?
I said no way they get into turn 5.
Well, they got about 20 minutes left, so.
And what turn are they on? This would only be turn 3, wouldn't it?
I don't know. Hopefully they've. Still says it's turn 1 on their scorecard.
Still says turn 1. Well,
look, I'm going to be honest. These guys, out of all of them, have been the best at keeping their scores up to date. It's been a pain trying to get players to enter the scores in as they go. Yeah. So you had to manually go around and be like, oh, they haven't done it. All right, I better go check.
And just to, while I was paying attention to the James and Justin game, the Orcs versus Guard, while you guys were interviewing, and man, I feel like the Guard's about to swing big.
Let's.
The Necrons are completely.
I've been cruising past there. Nearly Necrons are nearly all dead.
Yeah.
And James is looking at me, and he's not looking happy. I can't say what he's doing.
He's doing a gesture. Do you want to imitate the gesture?
Yeah, he's definitely doing a gesture. I can't repeat that gesture. We're a PG. We're
not really. We're actually marked for mature, so you go for it.
Ah, sweet. Let's go.
But yeah, so he's got one Lich Guard from his squad of 10 left. All the race are gone. All the stories are gone. I don't know what is the model he's got on that central ruin on the left. What is that model there? I don't know what that is. That's
Nick's got longer legs. He's going to look for us.
I thought it might be a crypto throw, but they're smaller bases. I thought they were right
Yeah,
sitting at
and
the back.
typically they're taller as well, aren't they?
Mm.
On the
It
crypto
looks
throw, I'm thinking of the other Technomancer. There you go.
Technomancer, that's it. Actually, I haven't seen those new models enough yet to know what they look like from the top. I'll get there, guys. So yeah, one Lich Guard left. Every puncher unit is gone, and look, all the tank commanders are there. All the manticores are there. This is kaput. The only question is now how much and how many points can he hold him to. It's actually a really big deal that he doesn't let him get a huge score.
Adam, look how tight the round is. Like, look at the team score.
It's a draw right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, it's
a freaking draw.
What, 12-8 right now, or close to a draw.
Mm.
Then it's a 17-3 from Rory and Aaron so far with updated scores. Hayden and Steve are 18-2, which is, pretty much countering the Rory-Aaron game. So Michael and Eric have just shaken hands. They're going to enter in their scores soon, so we'll get an update on that score, which would be
prediction,
really
boys. Prediction. I'm
talking
predicting.
Talking to Eric, he's like, man, I'm going to pull my thumb out here. I need to get this done.
Mm.
So I'm expecting things from my boy Eric.
Well, look,
I'm
looking
expecting
at the table, and there's almost no breaches left, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And they're both currently doing scores right now. So
I'm going to go something like 13-7.
I'm going to go 16-4.
Oh, I'm going to go 15-5, just to go right between you guys.
And Simon has gone 13-7. I think he needs.
Okay.
I think he needs more than 13 if he wants.
Yeah,
If he wants it to be a win, he needs to have gotten more than 15 points. Otherwise, it's going to be a draw. No, pretty much no matter what, it's going to be a draw
But
unless you got more than
basically,
15.
it's so tight. What a tight round! Like, it's literally coming down to like minuscule points between each game.
So good. I
I think
love
the way
this shit.
matchups went, I think Wadey probably should have got his win on Duck. So I think Eric was probably happy going for that low win. But then Duck turning his win around like he did.
Yep. That's how things change. Like in WTC or in ATC, you'll have a coach going down the line and saying, this green we thought we had is getting turned into an orange, getting turned into a red. Change your play style, start pushing, getting scores, capitalizing, can't be passive. We want to win this round. Shit like that. And I love that change in metrics of a game, changing the flow. And then I love feeling like I'm capable of doing that. Like when my coach comes around and says, hey man, you need to push, you need to get more points. And I'm like, sick, I can do that. I can do what you need me to do. Rawr! It feels great.
It's the momentum, the adrenaline kicks in. You're like, all right, I got to pull something out for my team here, and that's why I love team events, right? It just gives you that motivation.
100%. I think that's what Justin's done here. Justin's living that right now. He's big dogged it, and he's turned it around.
Dude, absolutely right. He's like, geez, this is on me, boys. I'm going to hold up this. All the milk is on my shoulders. Just gallons of it.
Yeah, Rory's extinguished his milk. It's now up to Justin.
His gallon of milk is empty. It's all gone.
Rory drank all of his milk in game one, as he likes to. He likes his 2-litre icebreakers.
He actually had his litre Dare Ice coffee. So he's full of milk, and it's just run out.
This is why they're called Art of Milk, by the way, because Rory has I almost call it a milk fetish. It's not sexual or anything. He just has to drink like 3 liters of milk a day or he can't function.
He just
it's
wants
freaking
milk
bizarre.
that tastes like real milk, man. That's it.
Oh, Jesus. But yeah, that's why they're called Art of Milk, because it's a meme from Rory. All right, we have some sponsors to tell you guys about. For those that we haven't mentioned them yet, but Knights of Dice is the kind of the premier Australian Art of War sponsor. They've provided us with the terrain you can see on this magnificently painted table by Aaron Green. They've just given us this to put on a stream to showcase the incredible things that they build. They're an Australian company by our good man Viv and his crew, and they do some incredible stuff. Really greatly appreciated what they do and coming on and supporting us. Tell us about the Normal Blokes, Lukey. You are part of the Normal Blokes. You got your
Yes, I am part of the Normal Blokes. We're a podcast based in Brisbane, Australia, and we're dedicated to improving the competitive 40k experience. Basically, what we're all about is being a friendly group of guys, trying to encourage more people to get involved in competitive 40k. And we strive for just good sportsmanship across the board, no matter what level of play that you're playing at. The idea that we're trying to promote is be a good sport and be a good player and enjoy the game to the best of your ability. And we're trying to really promote the scene for people. Sometimes it can be a little bit intimidating coming to these events. So we're just trying to really give people a bit of information, a bit of background, and a bit of experience or insight into what it's like attending tournaments. And that it's not so scary sometimes, to be honest, because I myself was originally quite a little bit intimidated coming to events, but you kind of go to them, realize you meet some nice people, you have some good games, you have a few laughs, and yeah, that's what we're all about. So Thanks
Nick.
for having me on.
What's the? Thank you very much, dude. Thanks to Norlox for being a part. Nick, what's the symbol next to Grapple Factory?
Let me have a look. Big Bear 3D.
Nice. I meant the one on the other side.
Oh, sorry. That is actually Josh McGowan's personal
That's what I
brand
thought.
that
And I
he's got,
thought
Gladiator Gaming.
you'd be the man to tell us about it.
I do. Well, I am, but I do have an update on a live game. Now, we've all gone and we've decided what Eric was going to get. We were all wrong. Let's have a new guess. Who
Is it
can
a
tell me what
14?
they think Eric got here?
The 14.
Man, it is a 20-0.
Yikes.
Okay, so who was closest?
Fucking yikes.
Who was closest? Someone at 15-5.
So Eric won.
Eric won.
Alright.
20.
I think we're going to check the scorecards of that one. There might be a little bit of a dodgy going on.
It looks like Eric's trying to catch his
Yeah,
breath
come on.
because he has just played the game of his life to pull his team out of the gutter.
Literally, I thought if you got less than a 15, this was going to be a draw pretty much no matter what happened. Now, my God, Justin needs to absolutely destroy this game if they want it to be not to be a loss. I don't know. So it was a 11-9, unless they didn't update their scores for quite a few turns, which is possible. They might have been playing too hard, too much fire in their bellies to update as they were going. But yeah, Eric.
That's why he's regarded as probably the best coach in 40K.
No, not just coach. The best all-round 40K anything, apart from personality.
But
without a doubt.
The thing is as well, like I'm looking at Eric now, and he after his game, he's coaching Michael on how to beat him next time. And like, what more could you ask for? After incredible game, tight game, and then it swings one way in a matchup where you think you would normally win. The guy's then like being really friendly and open about, here's what I would have done. This is probably how it should go. Blah blah blah. So check him out. Out of War. He's a coach available for purchase, and he's actually worth it. He helps me a lot. He's taught me a lot, and I'm sure he teaches a lot of people here a lot about the game and how to play.
Oh, absolutely.
You can purchase him and keep him for yourself.
Too true. All right, looks like we are probably into the closing minutes of this game. Are we able to find out what turn these gentlemen are on?
I've just had a chat
turn
to
4,
Luke.
turn 5.
Luke's about to head off and update some scores for us.
Yes, please. That'd be great. We need to know where this is sitting. We need to know how relevant this game is. If if there hasn't been a huge jump in the scores right now, I think that means either War wins. We're able to get a. So let's just do the math here. So
no worries. I've actually why you do that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, man. I do have Eric coming across for a chat. So if you want to give us a round up.
Yeah, so right now we have 0 points for Michael Neighbour, 3 points for Rory Argent, and 18 for Hayden Walduck, which in addition to the 12 right now for Justin, puts them at 30 points. That means they're losing. That means they're going down. Literally, Michael Neighbour not Michael Neighbour, Justin Fairman needs to get like 10 more points. Not 10 points. 5 more points. He needs to get like a 17 to pull this out. But anyway, over to you, mate. Please bring over Eric. Feel free to interview him. I'll take a back step.
Yeah, no worries, man. We don't quite have him yet. He's still packing up some of his stuff.
It's still helping the opposition too much.
He is. He's talking to Michael and Duck, actually helping him out. So
crazy.
We'll keep going with the Necrons for a little bit.
Yeah, well, there's not many Necrons left to speak about, brother. There's a Technomancer that's just made a move into the upper middle ruin. I'm not quite sure what he's going for there, as I don't think he can do much. Perfect, Nick. Perfect time for you to plug McGowan and Gladiator.
Yeah, true.
Gaming.
Okay, so as you said earlier, that logo down there is McGowan's new logo. He's come on as a bit of a sponsor. He runs his own tournaments, and you can jump on board with him, and he'll help you to run tournaments. So the prize support that he has here is absolutely phenomenal. The biggest lot of prize supports I've seen.
Yeah, and this isn't even a GT level event. This is an RTT, and he's forking out the big bucks in order to reward people for playing Team 40K.
Yeah, man, that's it.
We are joined by the maestro himself. Feel free to take it away. Interview this man.
No worries. Cheers. All right, well, thanks for joining me, Eric.
What's up, Adam?
Hello, baby.
Hey, Eric,
well done, dude. I thought this was going to be a draw, and you've legitimately changed my mind.
Yeah, bro. So I found out about Steve's game, and it was foot to the floor.
All right, man. So why don't we start with the matchup process? So let's go back to the start. What happened with you guys with
Yeah.
You hear me? Yeah. Okay. So what did you guys think they were going to put up as champion there?
So I think I pretty much had him picked pretty right, to be honest. It was sitting out there. I was like, look, I I'll be able to put myself forward. Duck's going to want to avoid me in pairings, so I knew he wouldn't put himself in. And we were pretty confident I was going to get the AdMech, which worked well for us. Because if I got the AdMech, no one else in our team wanted it. And then it was just kind of, the plan was for me to just hold on in that game. And Steve was he thought he was going to do quite well there. So finding out about that one kind of drastically changed how I had to play.
Yeah, man, for sure. So when it all started, we obviously thought you were just going to do that, just coast to like a small win that you needed to for your team. Personally, I was backing Wadey. I thought Wadey was going to come in and wreck late game on Duck, but obviously that didn't happen. And these two are obviously going to be close games and could have been 50-50. So how did you feel about, because you obviously matched Aaron, did you, into Rory?
Yeah, so we had a pretty favourable match up there for Aaron versus Rory. And then I had a bit of a, could go either way. Keller had his game down as pretty favourable for him. The plan was for him to run everything at the guard, but I think he hesitated on that and it's cost him. And then the Wadey game obviously flipped on us a bit. So.
Yeah, well, I do remember looking across. As soon as Wadey lost, I saw you just start march around the table, getting your tape out everywhere.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah, it was all hands on deck.
Yeah, we were actually having discussions about how much points we could finally creep up because it looked like you kind of maybe left it too late. We were thinking maybe a 13-7. Adam thought maybe a 15-5, but then when you came back with a 20-0, like you've just turned it completely around.
Yeah, so it took a while we stand against me, and it was pretty easy for me to get rid of the Scorpius with the 36-inch range on the Retributor melters. And then it was at the end there, it was kind of just making sure I get that Scramblers and then dive in the Calidus and getting rid of that. So I kept him super low in his secondaries, and just because of the nature of the game, the primary was very low on both sides, and then I was able to pick up the slack at the end. Because he was committing so many resources to try to keep primary low on both sides, and because he wasn't able to kill the Repentia, I was able to kind of just turn that around, like pretty drastically at the end.
Yeah, 100%. As we were watching the game, we all kind of felt like Justin was the one that was going to carry it for their team.
Yeah.
But like you said, never back against Eric, and you're the one that's turned it around and got that 20-0 that we thought was impossible.
Yeah, hopefully it's enough, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Adam, do you have any questions for Eric while we got him?
Yeah, we had an update on the Justin and James. It's currently sitting at a 14-6 at the moment. I'm not sure if that's the final scores, if there's another turn of scoring to be had. But if that is the case, that is, well, I think that means you won, Eric. I'm just doing a quick math. 20 from yourself, 18 from Aaron, 2 from Steve. That puts you on 40. That puts you on 46, which is 1 point.
Oh, damn.
1 point by winning by 1 freaking point. You madman.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it looks like Rory and Aaron are still going, but yeah, hopefully it's enough.
Well, I doubt. Honestly, what we've seen from Rory, I think he's in the position where he's only going to lose more points than what he has right now.
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm of the opinion that he wants to take those two. He wants those 2 points real bad. But yeah, it was funny because I had a discussion with Simon, and Simon was thinking that Rory had such this really, really awesomely powerful list. I think he does, but I think this was just like his anathema. This was the wrong matchup, the wrong day, the wrong time, the wrong mission.
This is a very bad game for that sort of demon list. Though those Goffs Orc boys hit way too hard for that demons list to take to the face over and over again. Like the big guys aren't, they're not resilient enough to take like 100 saves, right? And because there's no shooting or anything like that, Gazgul is very awkward for Rory to deal with.
Exactly right. I called that at the start. I said he's really got no way to deal with Gazgul effectively. I mean, admittedly he could do like a handful of mortal wounds from the keeper, but then from the lock. But then the lock is just like following Gaz around the entire game, not running off doing a bunch of other things it probably wants to do.
Yeah, that's it. And I mean, with that many Orc boys, that lock's never going to have the space to get into Gaz.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And alternatively, I'm really interested in Rory. If Rory had taken the -1 to wound on his keeper, he could have thrown his keeper into 30 boys and been pretty safe and happy. But he took the 4+ invuln.
I'm pretty sure the -1 to wound's only against shooting.
Oh, of course it is. You're absolutely right. It is, my brother. Never mind. Never mind. So the 4+ invuln is the best choice for this one. But yes, Simon still isn't backing down because Simon was backing Rory from the start. I'm like, can't see it going that way, man.
Sorry, big fella, you're wrong on that one.
I think if Rory went first, he wouldn't be looking down the barrel of a 20.
I do believe Simon claimed that Rory's list was the best one at the event at the start.
Now we're just going to pay out Simon.
Now it's just getting trolled by a bunch of orcs.
Let's not. We've just seen a score change. So Hayden Waldock's score has changed to a 20-0.
Oh, maybe
maybe
the
there's
scores weren't
a
finalised.
recount going on there, because that now means that's nullified. It's back to a draw. This round is back to a draw. Interesting, very interesting. If that's the case, maybe they did a recount. Maybe Hayden was just like, we were going to draw or lose anyway. Didn't really matter if I made him double count, triple count those points.
It could be that they didn't put in their final round or something like that too. So.
Oh, true, of course, yeah. Fire Drake 22. Stop the count. Where's
All right.
Trump?
Well, we're going to actually get Michael in to have a chat with us now, so we'll let Eric go here.
Beautiful, Ez.
Alrighty.
Dude, and
I'll
well
catch you
done,
later.
man.
Thanks, bro.
Perfect
Cheers.
example of somebody turning on the heat when they need to.
Catch you later.
See you later, brother.
All right, so yeah, if those scores are true there, Adam, that's going to be a massive call at going back to a draw again.
It's a draw, yeah. If those are true and correct, it's a freaking draw.
Yeah, well, that seems to be the case.
So 20 to 20, because there's 4 points between the teams now. There's only 4 points between, so yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So it looks like looking at Justin and those boys, they're all going over the list and the points now. So hopefully they're going to start updating us for us too. Anyway,
mate. Hello, Michael.
All right, so I got my.
Hello, everybody.
There we go. All right, so I got Michael here with me. How you going, mate?
Pretty good. I heard you were.
Yeah, it was, man. I thought maybe you could get a small little win there because you're definitely on list. I think you should beat Eric there.
Nick. Apparently there's no sound.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. We're back. Good?
yeah, good.
That was a 20-minute conversation. It was very in-depth.
Sick. All right. No, that's all good.
All right, so yeah, we'll have a chat again. Sorry about that. All right, so Michael, sorry, man. You want to run through that?
For sure. So I guess early game, it was a really low scoring affair. So it was a 0 point for me,
Push
a
to
0
talk.
point for him early on. I thought that, yeah. So early on, pretty low scoring. There were a couple of turns where, I would score 0, he would score 0, and then turn 3, I think, kind of pushed out with the breaches, looking to just put OBSEC on the midfield objectives. He had his cannon S a bit too far forward. There was a 7-inch charge with Manipulus there. I failed it. It would have been a bit of a swing, but coincidentally enough, I think that turn Hayden came around and he's just like, I've got a 20. And at that stage, and we were talking about it after the game, just within a team environment, probably look to just pull back and play far more conservatively and maybe just try and get, at that stage, probably what would have been about 5 points, because Eric started to push then as well. So the Repentia came down. They kind of delayed their charge, but the Repentia and the Ruin moved forward again. That whole side of the table was wiped with the other Repentia unit, and then the Cannon S Mortarfire kind of just punked me on my objective. So he really pushed out after that, and I should have pulled back.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's all because of Hayden coming around and saying, I got a massive win where we didn't really expect it to.
Yeah.
So yeah, a bit of it was a good experience, because that most probably is a recurring theme with these team events, especially on these top tables.
Yeah, that's definitely it. So when we spoke with Eric, Eric mentioned that to achieve him to get that 20 that he needed at the end, he sort of picked on the While We Stand We Fight characters. Did you think at some point maybe you should withdraw them?
I think
and
most
hide
probably
them?
I should have just not taken While We Stand. The 36-inch multi-melters and the cherubs kind of just popped the tanks off, because 36 is how far they shoot. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think the tanks are much better probably used once the Repentia come down, once I can draw a bead on them. And then once his big alpha combat units are dropped, maybe I can get a few more primary points late game. But yeah, obviously I didn't have anything to deal with the Repentia when they came down, and I lost all the While We Stand models as well. So
yeah, well, that's
sure.
a lot of the way that Eric likes to play.
Yeah.
He likes to get you in a position where it's too late for you to be able to counter what he's going to hit.
Yeah,
you with.
absolutely. Yeah, and I felt that pretty hard that game. Like I don't think in like a shorter period of time I've been hit as hard unexpectedly as that. So it was an excellent experience.
Well, you can blade Wadey for that. Had Wadey not got stomped at the end, then maybe Eric would.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, but look, I mean, Eric
is.
is playing to win the round, right? So,
Of course,
yeah,
man.
it was just a great experience. I think what I learned is I just probably should play Eric more with his sisters. That'd be great, you know? Yeah.
100%, man. 100%. All right, well, you got anything you'd like to say, Adam?
Nah, dude, well done. I think you took it to him. You had a great game going there for about 3 turns, and literally you were doing all the right things. I like the way you split into a nice right angle formation, didn't push anything into the middle,
Yeah.
and let him get any true extensions or true pressure on you for a couple of turns. I thought it was going to be a pretty neutral game, and I thought it could go either way in the last couple of turns. I wasn't a huge fan of banners.
No. Yep.
And I felt like if you were going back to the drawing board on your list, you might want to take some Taraxi instead of all the Sulphur Hounds, one or two,
fair.
just so you had some options to do some actions in the
Yeah.
games where you're playing very passive. You just need to be able to chuck down some scramblers, chuck down some other bits and pieces.
Yeah, I think having like the only infantry units being the big bricks of breaches is a bit clunky. So you're right.
Yeah.
Like probably some Taraxi, maybe in like a transport if I can spare the points. 'Cause
Yeah, or
transport's
even
nice, you know.
Rust Stalkers or Infiltrators
Yeah,
jumping
sure,
in from the flanks.
Rust Stalkers are pretty good. They got nice tricks for scramblers.
Exactly
for
right,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, beautiful, man. Well done. Dude,
thanks. It's good.
lovely to meet you.
Yeah.
Pleasure to call you game.
Absolutely, lovely to meet you all as well. Have a good afternoon, man.
Thanks, man. Hope you're enjoying team events.
All right. Well, we look like we have close to a final score. We at least have updated scores here, Adam.
Yep, you want to chuck us over to and just see the state of play. Oh, cool. Here we go. Oh,
I'm getting
man.
there. I'm getting there. I was trying to make it a smooth
man.
transition.
If that's true and correct, if James has managed to get 7 points out of that game, he's actually won it for his team. Anything less than the 7 is a draw. Wow.
Yeah, that's it, man. Well, I don't know if Rory and Aaron are actually finished though.
Oh, God knows they're not finished. They'll be finished when the round's over.
So they're just entering scores now. So this round's obviously going to depend there on
the
what
thing
those
is, though,
guys can
so
get.
Rory is unlikely to get less than 2 points as long as none of his greater demons die. As long as he picks up 15 for while we stand at the end, he's likely to stay on 2 points. But yeah, Justin, if Justin could get like 2 more points and just guarantee this was going to be a draw, like.
Yeah, man, it's easy to say that though, but looking
I
at
know.
Justin and James'
I know.
matchup, we thought it was going to go.
We
the
thought
other
he was
way
going to get
around.
smashed.
Like, I think had James won 13-7, I thought that wouldn't have been enough from James.
It wouldn't have been enough.
No, I thought James would have won. Looking at it like that, I would have said like 15.
Yep. No, that's true. That's probably what I was thinking as well. But man, what a flip! I mean, essentially, Justin has made this round competitive. That was
100%. I'd say
I thought Justin was looking at a red.
Eric's obviously pipped him on the matchups. As Eric mentioned, he obviously got the matchups that they wanted. Obviously, Wadey didn't get the score that they wanted there. Eric's pulled his thumb out and got what they needed. Aaron has too. So, but man, Aaron just needs to get to that 19 points. But he's, like you said, he's not going to get it.
Simon, what do you mean? So Simon's just said Michael should have gotten at least 5 points. At least 5 points. So yeah, if you could double check. Saving 10 points.
Yeah, no worries, man. I will get onto that.
No, I'm just talking to Simon. If Simon's double checking, if he had just saved 10 points from while we stand, it would have done it.
Correct. Yes, that's why he said that he obviously shouldn't have taken.
Yeah, so I thought Simon was counting the points and he came out wrong or something. But anyway, we able to put eyes back on the Necron game just to see where the state of play is there. Yeah, absolutely, Simon. Yeah, he should have. If he had just run away, just like turn 3, it's going terribly, run away, maybe he would have got a few more points. But who knows? Looks like all the greater demons are still there. A lot of orcs are still there, and those orcs are all over that backfield. Yes, that's orcs right at the bottom. Actually, that he still just has that wall of orcs that he started the game with. This impeding, unstoppable wall of orcs have just gone straight in. That's crazy.
All right. Well, I've got Luke's back, and he's going to interview Brian here.
Fantastic. Is that Brian Lakeland?
Yes, that's correct.
Fantastic. Awesome.
So I'll hand my stuff over to Lukey, and he'll get underway.
Beautiful. Thanks, mate. Brian.
Hey, guys.
Look at that handsome man.
Cheers, man. Oh. Hey, guys. How we doing?
Good, dude. Good to hear from you. How you traveling so far?
Yeah, good. 2 good games so far. Both up in the end. First one was a 20. Second was an 18. So Harlequins are going well, actually.
Is Lukey jumping in to interview you?
Yeah, it looks like he is.
Fantastic. All right, I'll leave you to his tender mercies.
Hey, boys. How we doing? Hey, Brian. Good to have you on, man.
Cheers, Luke.
Yeah, so you're actually the only Harlequins player at the event, so we wanted to hear
Really?
ever had that going. Apparently, that's what I heard about before, but I actually should probably double check. But you're one of the only Harlequin players. What do you think? How's the Harlequins been treating you in round 1 and now round 2?
Yeah, Harlequins have gone really well, actually. I have changed from, I guess, Frozen Starter Soaring Spite to try out the Janky Troop Master. Being able to jump out of boats after the transport has moved is actually pretty good. Both has just been mostly playing about primary, so it's been pretty good.
Yeah, nice. And have you had two greens, 2 yellows, yellow and a green?
Well, the first one was... God, I can't remember. It was against the Knights, the mini Knight list, the 9 Knights.
Yep.
So, kind of a green, I think, was yellow/green, depending on, I guess, how you look at it. Because it was still tough for me to take down, because they still hit pretty hard. But if I play it right, I can, turn it into a green. So, kind of ended up that way. Second one was against Custodes, with all the Forge World stuff, just OBSEC everywhere, which I think was a yellow, knowing what Custodes can do with being OBSEC on everything. So, managed to get up in the end, which was good.
That's Custodes matchup's interesting because they have a lot of ignore AP 1 and 2, and your max AP is 1 and 2.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Yeah. I didn't even care about hurting him, actually. It was more just about taking him off primary. So in the end, he only got 15 and I got the 45. It was mostly just about using the strats where I can fall back and charge and stuff in the combat phase. So it was mostly just about using those to get onto objectives to take it off him in his turn, and then I'd fall back and re-engage and do stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, how cool are the Harlequins, because you can literally hit them, fall back, hit them again, fall back, and it's just like they can't really do much about it.
Yeah, look,
Man.
it's great.
Man after my own heart. I was doing that with Talon Masters all last edition. It was freaking fantastic.
Man, it's a bit out of control, and people don't quite see what you can do with it. They just don't expect it at all.
I'm interested you stuck with the fusion boats. I've seen them pretty much dropping off wholesale from most other people's lists. So what do you see there? What do you enjoy about them? What are you using them for?
It's mostly the versatility. I guess with how I find Harlequins anyways, you need as many options as you can. So I guess if you shoe into the bikes, you're really stuck into playing that style. By taking a little bit of, the fusion boats, a few bikes, big units of players, it gives me a lot of answers and a lot of options. So I guess that way I've got answers to kind of everything, which is, I guess, in the list development side of it is kind of what I need to go to help out the team.
And how's your team been going? How's your role in the team been going? Have you found that the Harlequin list that you brought is doing quite well, or is there something you'd like to change about it?
I think it's doing pretty well. The other guys, they're doing well, but they are having hard games, which I think I'm doing my role okay, which is sort of champion, take the hardest list, because I've got as many options as I can. I can play into just about any game, still get some points to either minimise a massive win for the opponent or, get a massive win myself. So playing the Harlequins in the matchup is definitely helping that.
Are you being used as a predatory list? Are you hunting certain people, or are you being using more as a shield? Because I think, despite what some people might think, Harlequins are a really unassuming shield list that put into a lot of matchups.
Oh yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's more a shield list than anything.
Yeah.
Purely because if I go against Custodes, some armies that don't have much OBSEC really struggle. I've still got a lot of OBSEC with 6 troop units that can fall back and do stuff in the combat phase to take primary away from them.
All the other ones is I was thinking about Stephen Wade's list, and he's put so many points into these high value multi melters and plasma gun options that just get no value versus you. They get 0 value.
Yeah, 100%. So I guess that's why I went down to just 6 bikes, because multi-melters, which apparently everywhere at the moment, they're not really going to do too much. At max, you get 2 bikes, and it's that's not a huge investment for me. And then now you're stuck out in the open, even closer than you want to be because of the next 6 range, or however you word it properly. So you're really close to me where you don't want to be, and that's where the players can really benefit from that and really pounce on them.
Nice, man. They're good. Well, it sounds like I've been seeing your Harlequins list evolve over the last kind of 4 or 5. I noticed no Incarn. I always feel like he's the X factor you can or can't include. Did you have a version of a list that you were going to take to this that had him in it?
Look, I did actually play against Luke with the Incarn as well. And I have tried a few games with her in there, and she is amazing, but she's so expensive.
I know.
Because of the points cost, I just lose so much. It's it's a unit. It's 2 bikes and 10 players at least just to put her in the list.
Remember what I just said about You can't. She's not a shield list. You can't put her in a shield list.
No, that's exactly right.
Because if you're taking 300 points you're not going to use it.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you give him a target for all those high value weapons you're trying to give him no value for.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it also, which I don't think people realize, it really hurts you when it comes to While We Stand. Because I have a 4th boat for that exact reason, and that way it doesn't do anything except get me 5 points almost every game. The 2 games I've played so far.
That's right. Like I was looking at your list, I'm like, why the 4th boat? So you got 2 characters and a boat as your While We Stands.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So
that's legit amazing.
The boat
Fantastic.
can stay off for 1 CP, not come in until turn 3, and then now it's in the bubble in the back corner for 3 turns, and you just can't do anything against it. It's like there's no way you can get through all the players to get a boat in the back corner, and it can sit on an objective, and it can move 22 inches, and still do shit.
And naturally, you don't pick that against the 2 payload manticore guy.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Nice stuff.
Yeah,
very well thought out, Brian. Well done, man.
Yeah,
are you 2-0 so far?
Yeah. First game was 20, and the second one was 18. So doing pretty well so far.
Drop 2 points. What the fuck?
Yeah, some shield, right?
Some shield.
See, we call Brian Pythagoras because he always thinks about the game a little bit differently to everybody else, and only Brian would have a boat as a While We Stand we fight.
I know. I think it catches everyone off. Everyone's like, "Why the hell are you going While We Stand?" Because it's a boat. And it's like, yeah, but you're never going to do anything to it. Like you're never. You want
to hear my crazy? So I had a Custos list. Remember I was talking about the Custos list with the 9 Praetor bikes in it?
Yeah.
You take 1 shield captain on bike with 3 up invul and superior creation, and then you take that, and then while you stand it. So 2 of the 9 bikes,
and then
whichever 2 last fucking bikes.
Yeah, and then you just
that's right.
It's silly.
Kill 7 bikes.
Good.
Yeah,
you just got to get through everything to actually get some points.
Brilliant. Well, dude, thank you so much. Unless Luke, you got any other questions, you can go take your rest, man.
Oh, that's a good. Cheers. Thanks for having me on.
No, dude, thank you very much for being on. Brian Lakeland, everybody. Very much a dude worth watching, especially in the Harlequin realms.
And yeah, you're right, actually. There was a last question that popped up. Also hiding a boat means you can always use the Soaring Sprite strat, even if the big units are of Harleys. Yeah, 100%. So it's actually, I can conserve CP instead of having to spend 2 to always fall back. Or if I want to fall back 2 units, I can do that as well, which I actually did in my last game. Fell back 2 units, re-wrapped with 1, and the other one fell back behind cover. So it's actually just gives me a lot of options.
Nice, man. Thank you so much. Lukey, any ideas how much longer we got left in the round?
They're currently starting to organise everybody and get into the round. So with that, I might say thank you very much, Brian. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks. Cheers, guys.
So wait a minute. Next round's about to start?
They're gathering everybody to get them ready to go.
Oh wow! So that was in. So that's the final scores for this round, guys. That means
I think Josh,
that's a 1-point win.
Yep, the final
score. It's a 1-point win to Art of War. 1 point, guys. We had to get the final score seen up. No, having some chats. Who we got?
Hey.
Who's this guy?
Oh, due to talk.
So tell us your name, mate, and tell us what team you're in.
My name is Josiah. I'm captain of GC2.
Yeah. And what are you playing this weekend, Si?
Oh, I'm just playing Admech.
Yeah, so you haven't played in a representative team before, and we noticed that you're part of a team here, of course. So we wanted to ask you, what's your opinion on the team event format? How do you like it?
Oh, I love it, man. It's I've never played it before, but I've really been looking forward to it and waiting for it to happen. So when Josh announced it earlier in the year, I was stoked to hear about it, and yeah, I'll be in for that for sure.
Yeah, so how's the team doing so far? How many rounds you won, lost?
We got smashed in the first one, like really, really badly, by Liam Hackett and the boys. And then just now we've had, not sure if it's a draw or if we won by just 1 battle point. So I think we'll wait to see.
Oh, well, yeah. So typically if you don't win by a certain amount of points, it goes into a draw. But that's amazing. It's good to have really tight rounds like that because you sort of feel the intensity sort of spiral when you go to your team. You're like, oh, look, I got a 20. This guy got a 20. Now we need to make up points in these games. Do you feel that there's a difference in intensity in the team events rather than singles when you've got to sort of count on your mates to get points, or they count on you to get points?
Yeah, like intensity, I suppose. Like, we're a really new team, so we came with the attitude of just have fun, just get, like, 2 of our guys haven't even played tournaments before. So I literally said, like, it doesn't matter if you win, if we get smashed, even after that first round, it's like, it was easy. It actually feels not that intense at all. It feels more chilled than I have with singles. Like, it feels better because you've got your mates there with you, but we came with really low expectations just to get better, just to like, prep for next year and all that. So, yeah, so not so much, because, like, I don't feel like it's just on me to win. It feels good. Like me and Bodie just carried the team in the other one because the other two boys had really bad matchups, and we won by quite a fair deal. So we actually brought it back for a draw, maybe a win.
Yeah, wow,
so
nice.
that's good feelings. But yeah, like as it is now, we're not like in the runnings for the top table, so it's not like super intense.
No, that's cool. Well, see, the best part as well is that you get to have your mates here and you get to play in a team. So it's kind of like you as a group versus them. So it adds a little bit of fun. But I think round's starting at the moment. So I'll say thank you very much for coming on and appreciate your time. Hope you have a lot of fun this weekend.
Thanks, bud.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Cheers.
All right, Lukey. So just to encapsulate where this freaking round has ended up, guys. So that is a 1 point win for Art of War 1 versus Art of Milk. 1 fucking point. And to update you guys on the top table, which was the Cobra Dudes, Liam's team, versus Art of War 2. They got a freaking draw. They have knocked each other out.
Yeah.
So
it's insane, right? I saw that earlier. They got a draw.
What?
We're swapping headsets.
Amazing.
So Nick's about to feel my sweat.
So guys, we need to pull the plug on this baby. We need to reset, redraw, and we'll be back probably only about 10 minutes. If that suits you, lads.
Sounds good.
Nick, unless Nick's got an update for us before we chime out.
No update, man. I think the round starts in 4 minutes, so they're hustling to get it together.
So we'll take a 10-minute break, compose ourselves, and be right back with this final round. What are those two teams we're going to play? It's going to be Art of War 1, which you've just seen, versus Time to Clap.
Yeah, the top two teams.
I think
so. The top two for the final round.
Freaking fantastic. All right, can't wait. See you soon, boys.